Hola, mi gente, and welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, queries, statements, or otherwise, we have multiple ways to be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at Skimpod. That is Skimpod. That's where I like to fight. For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. That's crunchy being spelled with a K. We're available via Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Spotify, and a partridge in a pear tree. And of course the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show. And a band plays on here at Skim, and to that end, we provide you a Podcast, a musical discussion podcast built on a hip-hop foundation, and you know what? It's dope. Our personal Twitters are Tatum216, Lunchbox2099, your host, the Internet's Tayrell713, and me? Well, damn it, I'm the real ODP.
Looking at my bitch, I bet she give your ass a bone. Looking at my wrist, it'll turn your ass to stone. Stretch limousine, sipping rosé all alone. Double head monster with a mind of his own. Cherry red chariot, excess is just my character. All black tux, nigga shoes lavender. I never needed acceptance from all you outsiders. Had ciphers with Yeezys before his mouth wired. Before his jaw shattered, climbing up the Lord's ladder. We still speed running signs like they don't matter. Hater talking never made me mad. Never that, not when I'm in my favorite paper tag. Therefore, G4 is at the clear port. When it come to tools, fool, I'm a pet boy. When it comes to dope, I was quick to export. Never tired of balling, so it's on to the next sport. New Mercedes sedan, the Lex Sport. So many cars, DMV thought it was mail fraud. Different traps I was getting mail from. Polk County, Jacksonville, right Melbourne. Whole clicks, appetites, had tapeworms. Spinning Teddy Pendergrass vinyl as my J Burns. I shed a tear before the night's over. God bless this man I put this ice over. Getting Tupac money twice over. Still a real nigga, red Coogee sweater, dice roller. I'm making love to the angel of death. Catching feelings, never stumble, retracing my steps. Hello, welcome to it. Stays Crunchy and Milk, it's episode 390. I'm joined by my best friends. It's Tatum216.
Yes.
Slushbox2099.
I showed up.
And my homeboy, the real ODP.
I may have been an April Fool once or twice.
Bruh, I swear to God, I woke up this morning, I looked out the house and I was like, man, it look kind of cold outside. I think this might just be frost out there, babe. And then I go downstairs to, I don't know what the fuck, maybe just open the front door. And I'm like, it motherfucking snowed. What the hell is this shit? It was the worst of April Fools. Because I just read a story about how in March, we got what was only considered trace amounts of snow at Hopkins. Basically meaning we didn't get any snow in all of March. And then I wake up to April feeling like, hold on, I got you. It's trash. Just right, wild trash. So I had to go put my car in the shop. My radar was acting funky. Found out it was an issue, but we got it fixed. But I'm coming home, right? And I'm like, I'm just cruising down the highway. And I look to the other side of 90 and I'm like, God damn, it's like a 10-car pileup. I assumed to myself it's a 10-car pileup. And then as I keep going, like I noticed the highway is closed off. Like it's cars back as far as you can see. And so I look it up later, and indeed it was exactly that, a 10-car pileup on 90 because the snow was so bad. It was like you barely had any vision. You know what I'm saying? It was just like the visibility was wild low. And I noticed it when I was driving to the shop this morning. I was like, yo, this is crazy. So I slowed my roll, you know what I'm saying? Had my lights on, and I kept about 3 cars distance between me and everything else. And me doing that seemed to keep the car behind me was like, well, if he's saying something, I'm staying distant too. And of course, to my left is I'm seeing, trucks and stuff, because motherfuckers getting they little four-wheel drives and they think I'm God and they just speeding like ain't shit matters. And I'm just like, this is a dangerous situation and them people are knuckleheads. And coming back, it just proved out to be true, because if you look at the pictures from that accident, it's a bunch of trucks and some cars. I mean, I feel like these trucks thought they was about to do something and probably ended up having to hit the brakes and then start sliding. It was terrible, man. That storm today really was some old wildness. So we really were made out to be some April ass fools today.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was many an April Fool joke to show today, and I was super salty off of it.
What bothered you the most?
That Cavs City jersey really ticked me off. Only because I'm like, if you did that right, that could be kind of fun. Fun, not necessarily dope.
I did not care for that.
Yeah, and then what's the other one I sent you? I put it in the group. What's the other? Oh, that damn
the Krispy Kreme glaze.
Yeah, the Krispy Kreme glaze in a jar that looked like queso. And I was like, look, first of all, that's ew, but still, it's just, I don't know. IGN had a fun one. They had it's Zoom Battle Royale. Play Battle Royale in Zoom. And I was like, that would be hilarious if you could actually do that. But, you know what I'm saying? That was a fun one. You know, one of those, I like April Fool's jokes that are impossible. You know what I'm saying? Silly in a way. And again, I may mention again in our chat that the April Fools I fuck with the most was that damn Hamburger Helper mixtape from a few years back that was really well done. It was like some decent music for us. A mixtape about
Streets.
Was it called Feed the Streets or was that one of the tracks on there? Either way, it was pretty good. The Hamburger Helper mixtape, if you can go find it, it's probably still out there on SoundCloud somewhere. Was actually pretty good. But you know how we do it. Let's hit the ground running. We got a few stories to share and so forth. So I pulled a couple, Ant pulled a couple. So the news is out here. Dan, did you send us a song about the Cleveland baseball team and fans not being allowed to be in red face?
I did not know.
Okay,
I sent that.
And 3 of the 4 stories I'm about to hit y'all with is from Newsman Ant. This one's from the good people at Scene, Vince, who won't tell me how to pronounce his last name.
So
Cleveland baseball team will not allow fans with red face Native American headdresses in stadium. The Cleveland baseball team announced today that fans will not be permitted to wear Native American style headdresses or red face paint inside Progressive Field any longer. Coming in the middle of the franchise's rebranding process, the move dovetails with the team's efforts to distance itself from the racism and hurtful imagery associated with the Indians moniker and the Chief Wahoo logo. Owner Paul Dolan has said that no decision has been made on the team's new name, but he will know by the middle of this year if it will be in place by the 2022 season. As we take the necessary time to determine a new name and brand, the team will continue using the Indians' name and branding, Dolan said in December 2020. We will also continue to listen, learn, and partner with local civic leaders, including those in the Native American community, to deepen our support of underrepresented groups and make a meaningful, positive impact in our community. Native American groups and their allies have been protesting the Indians' name and the Wahoo mascot for decades, partly because they permitted and even encouraged fans to dress in insensitive fashion dehumanizing to Native Americans. As detailed extensively elsewhere and in Scene, redface is no different than blackface, and the team's acceptance of such behavior was roundly insulting. This year, it's finally turned the page. And I like that some in this case, Scene, probably, who knows? Who will know if it'll spread wide, have gone to calling us Cleveland's baseball team like we call it the Washington football team because motherfuckers still ain't got no name. Also find it interesting that they let Dan Snyder buy the whole Washington football team organization when he has all kinds of accusations against them. I'm like, y'all just let that motherfucker buy that team outright. Alrighty. Go on, Dan. I'm sorry.
Yeah, why don't we just be called the Clevelanders and leave it at that?
Bruh. It's like the name shit seems so simple to us, but it's like it's probably some kind of who knows how trademark works and so forth and so on. I can't even trip, but it could be easy. You know what I'm saying? Can it be so simple?
I mean, and it is a private business, so they have the right to refuse people on such behaviors. So for people getting salty off of it, they're like,
I don't know if I saw anything in the realm of like, oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I saw some replies to the tweet. They're like the typical like, oh, you can't let people have fun anymore. Like it's red face, man. Come on.
It's like, no, I'm not gonna let you have that type of fun. If that's fun to you, it's not fun to me, and I'm not having it. So sorry, you get the fuck over it. This is from Holly Yan over at CNN. Forgive me. Don't freak out. if you get these side effects from a COVID-19 vaccine, they can actually be a good sign.
Oh, let's see.
With millions more Americans getting vaccinated every day, some have complained about fever, fatigue, and other ailments they weren't expecting. Don't panic, doctors say. Side effects from COVID-19 vaccines won't last long, and they're actually proof that your immune system is working in the way it's supposed to. Though vaccines are still very effective even without side effects. Here are some of the most common side effects from COVID-19 vaccines, how you can manage them, and why you shouldn't use them as an excuse to skip vaccination.
Is one of them anal leakage?
Not that I saw.
No, that's only from those Lay's.
That's Olestra.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? The Olean. What are the most common side effects? The kind of things we're seeing are arm soreness, body aches, sometimes fatigue, sometimes even a low-grade fever, said Dr. Peter Hotez, a vaccinologist, great title, and dean of the National Schools of Tropical Medicine at Baylor College of Medicine.
Texas.
Everything about that sentence was Dr. P.D. Hotez, a vaccinologist, the dean of the National School of Tropical Medicine. I loved every bit of that. After he got his second dose of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, I had shaking chills for a couple of hours, Hotez said. And we know why this happens, because the vaccine is very potent in inducing an immune response. That's one of the reasons why we're getting such a high levels of protection against COVID-19. Other side effects can include pain, redness or swelling at the injection site, and possibly headache or nausea, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said. Wait, could I have gotten the COVID from the vaccine? No. It's literally impossible to get COVID-19 from any of the vaccines used in the U.S. because none of them contain even a piece of the real coronavirus. How many people get side effects? It's not certain because millions of Americans are getting vaccinated every day, and those who do get side effects might not report them to the Federal Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. Didn't know that was a thing. But in vaccine trials, about 10% to 15% of immunized volunteers develop quite noticeable side effects. Former Operation Warp Speed's chief scientific advisor, Monsef Slaoui, Slaoui, you tell me how to pronounce it, said late last year, most people have much less notable side effects, he said. When it comes to anaphylaxis or severe allergic reactions, the rate is about 2 to 5 per million, Hotez said. That means about 0.00005% or less of those who get the COVID-19 vaccine have serious negative response. The good news is, even when with severe outcomes do happen, they usually happen in the first 30 minutes, Hotez said. That's why vaccine sites keep people around for 15 to 30 minutes afterwards, to make certain they're not having an anaphylactic reaction. The CDC recommends people who have had a severe allergic reaction to a different vaccine or a history of anaphylaxis stay for 30 minutes after a vaccination. Others could leave after 15, which we discussed last week.
I left after 15.
All places administering vaccines must be armed with epinephrine, an EpiPen, to quickly combat any cases of anaphylaxis, the CDC said. More than 150 million doses of the vaccine have been administered by the end of March so far. There is no evidence of any death caused by COVID-19 vaccine, the CDC said. Do some vaccines produce more side effects than others? Everybody's different, so the exact same vaccine can leave one person feeling sick for a day and another feeling perfectly fine. With that said, the mRNA vaccines, the Pfizer and the Moderna, are what's called more reactogenic, meaning there are more side effects, Hotez said. They're not serious side effects, but they can be unpleasant and they can sometimes last a day or two. Usually they don't. Usually they last a few hours. But the Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna vaccines give about 95% protection against symptomatic COVID-19, and both are virtually 100% effective against severe COVID-19 illness in their clinical trials. No one who was vaccinated died from the COVID-19. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is not an mRNA vaccine. Among U.S. trial participants, it was 72% effective against COVID-19 and 85% effective against severe COVID-19. Like the other two vaccines, No one who was vaccinated during the clinical trial died from COVID-19. So forth, so on. There's a lot more than that. That story keeps going. I didn't realize it was that long. Basically, though, and I would want to tell you to go to CNN and read Miss Yan's reporting because it's good stuff to have.
Right.
It's good information to have. But it's possible you're going to get side effects, and having side effects is often a sign that your body is doing what a vaccine is supposed to do, and that is preparing to be able to fight off an infection of the type of COVID or other SARS type diseases. Because COVID is just another type of SARS. If you guys didn't know that, I'm sure you guys did. I'm sorry to be whatever. And you took this week. You went and got the first of 2 shots.
Yeah, I did.
How was your experience? How are you feeling? So forth and so on. If you care to share with the listener.
Well, I got the shot. I didn't want to go to the Wolfstein Center because I hate driving downtown.
Fair enough.
So I was looking up on the website, and I found at a Walgreens in my old neighborhood, which something funny happened during that, and we'll get to that shortly. One thing before I went there, and I was trying to book the appointment, and the original one was supposed to be for Monday, and then while I was booking it disappeared right before my eyes. So I had to go back into the website and book it for the next day, and then book my second dose. So I get there about 10 minutes early. I sign up, and I found out they were doing the Pfizer, which I didn't really want to do. I wanted a Moderna shot. Okay. But I was like, don't be a baby about it, dude. Just take the damn shot. And I took it. I signed the paper, did all that, and I was standing there sitting down waiting, and she called my name, and then I walk up to her. She said, "No, I called Anthony Tatum." I was like, "I am Anthony Tatum." This bitch gonna ask me, "Am I sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure. I'm Anthony Tatum." She's like, "You got your paper?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm Anthony Tatum." And then she's like, "Oh, I thought that was I didn't see you sitting over there." I was like, "Okay." And me and my girlfriend had a conversation about this later. I'm like, "Is Anthony Tatum a white name?" And she was like, "I think it is. I don't know any other black Tatums." And I'm like, I know a few black Tatums, but like if you Google oh yeah,
you got Jason Tatum on the Celtics.
He's half black.
Yeah, but he light as fuck, dog.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's his mom's last name. So because his mom is, if I'm not mistaken, I think his mother is black.
We saw his mom. She ate lunch next to us at Mabel's when he made his debut in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
that was his mom at the other table with the big purse.
There's Beverly Tatum.
She was very black.
What does she do?
She's an anti-racism author.
Well, look up Anthony Tatum out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's a lawyer. He's not black.
The other Tatum that pops into my mind is Channing Tatum, but he's very white.
I don't know if he's very white. He can dance.
Plus, he got a slight twang in the way he speaks that make you go.
Yeah, like he started off doing the black movies. He was like in Coach Carter. Like his start is very blackish. So,
is he the Gary Owen of rom-coms?
Not even rom-coms. Who was that?
Oh, shit.
Anthony Tatum.
That looks like Blake Griffin.
That's a different Anthony Tatum. What's school? He's still in college?
Augustana University. Yes, he's still in college.
So
there's a lot of black Anthonys.
There's Anthony Tatum. I can't see his face, but he's black, and he's grabbing his crotch.
Oh,
so he's grabbing his crotch black.
Oh, I remember that picture I took when I was grabbing my dick in what looks like a pink sweater.
I came in with my dick in my hand. Don't make me leave with my foot in your ass.
Be cool.
All right, I'm looking at Jason Tatum's parents. His mother, Brandy Cole, is a light-skinned black woman, and his father is a medium caramel shade black person. So, if he is a multi-race, it's because his parents are half of partial ethnicities.
Well, I think his is his little boy. Is his son multiracial then?
Would have to be.
I think so.
So you're saying it's possible that Jason Tatum could be a quarter black?
No.
No. The math just don't work out for him. What it ends up being is
I like it.
he is most likely, in the least, about 75% black.
Okay.
75%. 3/4 black.
Yeah.
3 parts.
Did you see Chappelle talking recently, like in the last year, about his mom being part white because like her grandparents or something?
He did say
like,
if he grew his shit out, it'd be beautiful.
Yeah, like that's one of those ones where like I imagine a lot of people would want to see like the Ancestry.com on that one.
In the word,
Was it 23andMe or something like that?
Yeah.
My wife always wants me to do that shit.
Bruh.
in the words of Kendrick Lamar, I don't want to hear about how my ancestors weren't fast runners because I know my grandmother's mother is white. Or no, is she white? I think so.
Well, like the one lady we work with, she's mixed. Like her mom's white and her dad was black. But I've seen her daughter, and her daughter is like dark. Like couldn't tell. Like you couldn't tell her daughter. Like her mom was mixed. Like it'd be like looking at Chappelle.
Who's that? Anthony Tatum?
That's Anthony Tatum.
Why you gotta bring up Anthony Tatum in jail, Gabe?
How do we know he's in jail? Just because he took a picture in front of a brick wall?
Yeah, that definitely look like a mugshot. And he looked too serious. He don't look happy. That Anthony is not happy.
Yeah, when you got the scowl face in front of a brick wall, that usually means mugshot.
All right, so anywho, I got the shot.
That was a nice side road.
It didn't hurt it initially. Like it did. Like I went outside. I was like, stick around for 15 minutes. I'm like, 15 minutes my ass. I'm out this bitch. And but like the guy who was in front of me in line, like we started talking. Like he works down the street from where we used to work at, and we talked for a minute. And he was saying how he was working from home, and but he was gonna be moving to another building pretty soon. And we just we talked about 15 minutes, so that took up some time. Then I went home. Oh shit! I didn't go home right away. My girlfriend called me, or like when I called her, I was like, "Oh, I'm on my way home. Do you want anything?" She was like, "I want some coffee." No, give me one of those new Starbucks breezer things. I'm like, okay. So I stopped at Starbucks, and I'm waiting in line, and this dude started like putting down his laptop and stuff, and like charging up, and I'm like, did this motherfucker read the signs? And obviously he didn't, or didn't give a fuck, because the lady came from the back like, "Hey, we are seating people right now. You have to leave." He was like, "Where am I supposed to go?" And starts throwing shit around, like smacked his old computer down. I'm like, "Don't break your own shit." And then I was just like, man, why have I been witnessing this bullshit lately? Because the other day I was I was supposed to make something. I was supposed to make some meal, and I had to stopped at Aldi's real quick. And I'm waiting in line. It's only like a line or two open. This lady start throwing shit like near the cashier, like it was.
Really?
Yeah, she threw it was a head of lettuce, a roll of toilet paper, and something else. And I remember this shit. That's how like fucking flabbergasted I was. She threw a roll of toilet paper, a head of lettuce, a container of iodine salt. That's what she threw over there. Like, probably not directly at him, but in his general vicinity. And then this dude was just like, what the fuck is this lady doing? And but it did lead to another line being open, so her presence was felt.
So what is she yelling shit while she's throwing
No,
shit?
she did that shit like a G. She like completely silent, like, and then left. I was just like, whoa,
What the fuck?
yes. So I was just like, that's not good. So back
to answer that previous guy's question, where you supposed to go? Go home, man.
yeah, I get. But I was like, what? It's always like it was just like, what are you doing, man? Like I seen the sign, I know you seen it. And this dude is just setting up, posting up. I don't even think he bought shit. Like, get out of here. Like, go to the library or something, man. Damn.
Library is open.
Yeah, the People's University is back open, and that's where you need to go. So I get home, because I started work early that day. So I could, not only get some overtime, but leave and come back. And while I was sitting down, I was looking up on Reddit, what people were saying about the different side effects they were having with the Pfizer shot. And I was like, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And man, my arm hurt like a son of a bitch. Like I can still feel it. It's just now like getting to the point where I can do this. That shit hurt. And like I was nauseous like a son of a bitch. Like I didn't throw up, but my stomach was on absolute fire mode for like it started like during the day. It was like a crescendo of pain. It was just like at first it was okay, I can feel the nausea, but by 8 p.m., man, my shit was so on fire. It hurted so bad. I didn't have to poop or nothing like that. My stomach was just on straight hurt mode. Like I went to go lay down. I was outside. Like, oh my god, this shit hurts so bad. I'm not taking this other fucking shot. My stomach was just like it was just unbelievable pain. Then I drank a Topo Chico and burped a couple times, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling a little better. And then like trying to like my pain, like while I was sitting down, like the pain, it was like it started on the top of my shoulder blades and like moved down to my back and was down to my feet. And then I guess it wasn't like that anymore, but the pain stayed within my shoulder and then like in the shot area. And I didn't sleep very well because I couldn't get comfortable because like I sleep on my side with my arm usually like this, so that shit wasn't happening. Not with your arm all fucked up, but then I woke up the next morning with a very, very sore throat, and that was the main like reading through the Reddit. Like the Pfizer, I took the Pfizer shot Reddit. That was the number one thing that people kept on saying that they had that wasn't on the list that the CDC provided.
Now that you say that, I did have a little scratchy throat that next day, which I just attributed to my normal snotty nose that I wake up with. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's interesting that may have been an unlisted side effect. That's crazy.
But today is Thursday. Like the pain in my arm is better. Like yesterday.
You take anything for it?
I took some.
Or no, because you had a sour belly going.
I took some Advil for it, some Motrin for it. But not to mention, like my youngest son climbs up on my desk and up in my chair like throughout the day. And he uses my arm as a leverage. So he kept on grabbing my arm throughout the day. I was like, you got to stop grabbing my arm. It hurts. Stop doing that. And he's like, which one? This one or this one? I was like,
I know that like it's not the same equivalent, but right after I got the shot, my calico cat came over here and she kept trying to fucking get on my arm.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, but like, except like you could tell him not to do it, whereas like I say it and she can't hear me now.
Yeah. He act like he can't hear me because he kept doing that shit. But then he was like, "Where do it hurt? Does it hurt here or does it hurt here?" And I was like, "Here."
Bringing the pain, Daddy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that was pretty much, my vaccine story.
Yeah.
My drink didn't taste good from Starbucks. My girlfriend said hers was delicious. And I was like, it's always funny getting her stuff because, like, they gave her, I got a medium and they gave her a large. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Because if she don't like this and she got this big ass cup, I got to hear it all damn day. But she liked it.
Oh, shit. I got the aforementioned Xander. I got him set up for his appointment Saturday. So we're going to go Saturday, I believe, at high noon for his appointment. I had to skip out the house Monday, go all the way out to Parma to sign him up at the library, at the county library out there. But I got it done. I got him signed up, so he'll be good to go. They just announced today. Pfizer announced today that testing seems to make it that 12 to, I don't know, I want to say 15, 16 is the vaccine seems to be effective for them. So that if that all pans out by the FDA, that means my youngest will be able to get their shot sooner than later as well. And I'm glad about it. I was just talking to these very gentlemen earlier today because we talk a lot, if you didn't know, and about how our potential anniversary show, which comes in next month. I can say that now because we're here in April. We might be able to do in each other's presence, which I'm kind of excited about the idea for. You know what I'm most hyped about, though? Not that I don't love you guys, but I'm saying I've seen you. It's not like I had not seen each and every one of you this entire time. So, but I'm wildly hyped about is going to a movie theater to watch a movie.
Which movie are you going to go see?
Scott Pilgrim vs. the World 10th anniversary release that was supposed to come out back in August. They got pushed till end of April. April 30th is its release day. It's a special Dolby Cinemas release of it, so I'm probably going to end up driving down the road to Columbus to go see it down there. Not the first time I've gone to Columbus to see a movie, won't be the last, and I'm very, very, very excited for that. So I'm that's kind of the thing I'm most hype about. Still, of course, gonna wear my mask because that's just is what it is. And like I said, like we discussed some weeks back, I'm for right now, mask on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, until everybody, or at least the vast majority, is vaccinated, and we can do this. We can do this without. We'll rock a mask. But let's keep it motherfucking moving. It's from the good people over at Complex. This gentleman's name is FNRTIGG. I don't know how to pronounce that. Fenartig. Police discovered drug superstore. Hold on. Drug superstore in Atlanta holding 1,000 pounds of marijuana and edibles. A warehouse full of drugs discovered by police near Atlanta on Friday. The Atlanta NBC affiliate reports. South Fulton police say the warehouse was uncovered while authorities were executing 3 search warrants connected to a street racing investigation. Police described the building as a drug superstore. Wait a minute. Drug superstore where an assortment of drugs and other illegal substances were found. A spokesperson for the South Fulton, spokesperson for South Fulton, Gary Leftwich, told media the authorities worked through the night to process evidence. 1,000 pounds of marijuana and edibles were recovered, along with 13 guns. One of the weapons was reportedly stolen out of Dallas, Georgia. Forgive me. Leftwich also added that the total investigation had been underway for 3 months. Police believe that this is one of several locations that have been in operation for close to 3 years. 62 people were detained in connection to the operation, including a known suspect in a separate robbery investigation. 30 people have been sent to jail on charges of trafficking marijuana, while the rest were charged with criminal trespassing, received copies of the charges, and were released. 33 additional arrest warrants have been issued, but more are expected to follow. Currently, it's unclear how this drug operation is related to the initial street racing investigation. However, 10 cars were impounded during the warehouse search.
They live their lives a quarter mile at a time.
Or maybe it was like that scene in True Romance where they, it's like hot the coke. And she's like, I'm not hot in the coke. And then they got all over the guy. All over Balky.
Balky, yeah, it was Balky.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man, my stepmom texted me yesterday and invited me over for Easter, our dinner on Sunday. And then this morning she texted me and she's like, hey, can you bring Coke and Sprite over? And I texted back, I don't know where I'm going to find cocaine on such short notice. Apparently now I do know where I could find it.
Drug superstore.
It's a drug superstore.
We got it all at the drug superstore.
If you looked at this table in this image, there are also like several bottles of Barks Red, which is something they sell down south. I've never seen Barks Red this far up north. But I'm like, is that in a lava lamp? And I'm like, are these things somehow related to the marijuana? Like to get high, watch the lava lamp, drink some Barks Red?
Well, isn't that what they have at like those head stores, those head shops where it's just like bongs and lava lamps and shit like that? Like Bob Marley posters and all that kind of shit. It's like a one-stop shop for like a college dorm room.
Oh my God.
Velvet posters.
Yeah, black lights and shit like that.
Copy image link. I want to paste this link. It's so fucking dumb. What I find interesting about this whole process is earlier this week, New York just was like, all right, legalize and advertise. You can smoke weed recreational in the great state of New York, and how most states at this point have legal marijuana in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. And here they are down in Georgia, like, I'm taking all your weed, and a lot of y'all going to jail, probably for a long time.
It's illegal to give weed to people standing in line to vote.
Well, and what about that fucking tweet that dude sent out about, like, getting high in college and waking up in, like, another country and shit?
That shit made me laugh my ass off. I don't know what that... He seemed to be serious, but who knows?
You know, it's funny.
I saw that.
I watched like the Jeffrey Dean Morgan Hot Ones episode today. Mm-hmm. So then that caused an interview that he did on Jimmy Kimmel to pop up in my recommended. And I clicked on it because the title of the video was what really drugged me in. So apparently Jeffrey Dean Morgan's been shooting Walking Dead for the last couple months. And he was having problems sleeping. So a friend sent him some CBD gummies. Well, he took the gummies the one night and blacked out, apparently, and woke up the next day to a bunch of calls and text messages, he claims, from a number he didn't recognize. And he didn't reply, so then they started leaving voicemails. Apparently what happened was the gummies were not all just CBD gummies, and he got mega super high. And after he went to sleep, or either, I don't know how the events folded out, but apparently he got so high that he blacked out on weed, and he bought a Tesla with all the features, like every single feature they offered, and it was like $140,000 Tesla that he ordered. So he when they called him to like congratulate him and verify the purchase, he was like, this wasn't me. It was a mistake. I don't want this. So then, like, he had to call and speak to someone to verify that he didn't want the car. So then, like, and the funny thing about it is he claims, like, he actually entered all the information correctly. Like, he gave him his phone number. He gave the payment information. Like, he got so stoned that he just ordered this and did it all correctly, but didn't remember doing any of it. So then they ended up keeping, like, his like deposit fee or something like that.
Yeah.
But he didn't pay the $140K for the car, but he lost a couple $100.
Huh. Oh man, that's the rich man's high.
And
yeah.
I have another, I guess, quote unquote fun fact about him. Did you know he's a baby daddy? In the sense that years ago, him and a woman had a baby together, and she never told him that it was his baby and that she had the baby.
Why not? He's rich.
I don't know.
He wasn't then.
Necessarily.
Unless he's like, does he come from wealth?
No. Yeah, he might not have been like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but he was Jeffrey Dean Morgan already.
Fair
So
enough.
then, like, how did this come to light? Then?
It was like on Entertainment Tonight or something. Like years later, she came and said like, "Oh yeah, you got a kid," and he was like, "Yeah, I do now."
That would be weird. Like,
would be weird.
I feel like if I like had a one night stand or something like that, and
I think
6 years later, this person that I haven't thought of at all just shows up at my doorstep with like a like a little Anthony right next to him. They're like, "Oh, this is yours." Like
that's like
that. Your whole world is shook at that
that's
point.
like 80% of like the sitcoms back in the day. Like they had an episode like that. Like you have a son, and then they take the test, and it was just like, you ain't got a son.
Yeah, like a couple breaks up in college, and then they go their separate ways, and then like 6 months later, the woman gives birth and never tells the dad until the kid's like 13.
Yeah.
Then the kid hates the dad, even though like the dad didn't know the fucking kid existed. Like, you weren't here for me. Like, motherfucker, I didn't know you existed until 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, My Two Dads was literally about that.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Hey, that's that song, like, what's that? All I want to do is make love to you. The people don't realize how fucked up that song is. She's a terrible woman.
I watch those, like, shit like that, and like in that kind of like scenario that I just described, and I get mad at the kid for being mad at the parent in that scenario, or like not having the wherewithal to like realize that it's not their fault that they didn't know that you didn't exist.
Be mad at the mom for like, reach out to somebody.
I mean, obviously, you got to be mad at both people because, like, obviously, it's a reason she didn't say anything. Either she didn't think that dude was trustworthy, she didn't think he was a good person, or
wanted to create a wacky situation later.
Or they thought it'd be a good Maury Povich. She thought something was gonna happen. But it was funny. I wanted to talk to you guys. Like, I wanted to ask, have you guys ever blacked out from drinking or smoking before? I was thinking about that in the car the other day. And I was like, I haven't. And I don't know. I guess I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about it. And I was like, I've never done that before. And it would be extremely interesting, but not interesting as a middle-aged man to want to try it now.
Go ahead.
I've never blacked out. I usually just get sleepy. So like I've never like gone dark and then just kept functioning but not remember any of it.
Yeah.
One time I did fall asleep at a bar for like 10 minutes. And then, I've fallen asleep at home before, like, doing stuff, but never blacked out.
Dude, I'm a sleepy dude sober, so, yeah, I have a few drinks and I'm going to pass out at a bar, or I might pass out at an Indians game, or I might pass out at a football game.
No.
Pass it out in public. That should be scary, right? I should be scared that I did that.
Yeah, that is kind of scary.
Yeah. That's wildly scary. But
yeah, like literally at that point, all your defenses are gone. Like everything.
Yeah, you can be robbed, you can be attacked, any number of things. But you
can be touched. You can be be
next thing
waking up
Jeffrey
in
Dean
another
Morgan.
You can end up in a Wayfair cabinet.
You got just what I need.
Oh shit!
I have blacked out from drinking. I've had passed out in public. I've had, I was pretty reckless. I shouldn't have been, but being a white presenting male, like I had less to be scared of.
I never had a weed experience like my man Jeffrey D. Morgan that put me on my ass like that. I had a situation where I wanted to go to sleep. It was too hot to go to sleep. Like, come on, bro. Let me just fall asleep and not be doing this anymore. But that's about the worst I've ever gotten in the weed realm of things. That was when my brother first got married. Well, the first time my brother got married. And we went to Kansas City for his wedding because I was in the wedding. And my buddy Chris came with us. And of course he brought, some weed. And we was like, well, fuck it. Let's go. He's like, let's go see a movie or something. Go get high and we'll be straight. And we just got fun. But we got to the mall and couldn't figure out how the movie situation worked out there because I'd never been in that mall in Kansas before. And so we just started walking and smoking because it wasn't too far from where my mama stayed at that time. I get to the house and I'm like, oh God, I'm high in front of my mama.
Oh.
This is not a good experience.
Oh.
I am going to lay down on this floor right now and I'm going to wish this away. I do not like this at all. This is terrible.
Did you literally lay down on the floor in front of your mama?
I mean, I was going to sleep on the floor anyway because I was just staying in an apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So sleeping on the floor was going to happen regardless. So I just got my blankie, got my pillow. Was like, I'm just going. And then my man Chris, high as fuck, talking to. So we went with my mama's friend Greg. Greg is another minister my mom knew from here, and so he drove us. And so he just sitting there rapping with Greg. I'm like, how you over here chopping it up with the Reverend over here? And I'm just like, I am just go to sleep, just go to sleep. And I'm a wild ass sleepyhead, but weed is a bit of a, even though it is a bit of a whatever, it induces, you know what I'm saying? It gets you high. It gets you kind of going. Most weed, it'll get you relaxed, but your heart is going and your body is going, regardless if you feel a little bit like chill. That's just not how that actually functions. So
that scene in Breakfast Club where he's running around and screaming so loud the glass shatters is not unrealistic?
I mean, I don't believe he could scream the glass broke like he did in that movie, but running around for sure. So,
all right. And your friend is talking to the Reverend going, if loving the Lord is wrong, I don't want to be right.
No, cause like that, I'm pretty sure Chris is was already an atheist or as agnostic at that point in time. So I think they was just chopping it up about whatever. Because Chris could hold his weed, I could not. All right, couple more. We really over here delving into conversation as we read these stories off. This one, another one of these ones Aunt sent me, is a banger of a title. How well the story goes, we'll see. This is from insider Samantha Grindell. HGTV executives reportedly pitched a show where people renovate former meth labs.
Oh, I could see the potential.
HGTV executives considered spotlighting former meth labs in a new series, according to a report from The New Yorker. The proposed show was one of a handful of avant-garde home improvement series a group of HGTV executives brainstormed around at a June 2020 meeting, codenamed Project Thunder, as The New Yorker's Ian Parker reported. The network's vice president of programming and development, Katie Rutten-Daigle, suggests 3 potential structures for the series titled Meth House Makeover, according to The New Yorker. It could follow a company that cleans former meth labs, spotlights people who flip meth labs, or star homeowners who are renovating houses they didn't know were once meth labs when they bought them.
That feels like something that like you would need to disclose on the.
You do have to.
Full disclosure rules.
Regardless of the final structure, the end goal of Meth House Makeover would be to turn meth labs into dream homes, offering a more scandalous version of the typical renovations featured on HGTV. I love the idea starting the show in hazmat suits, Lauren Rutch, an HGTV senior executive, said at the meeting, according to The New Yorker. HGTV shows have traditionally been less splashy than Meth House Makeover would be. The titles of the programs on HGTV might be different, but you can expect to see the same predictable things in all homes featured on the shows. Open concept spaces, shiplap walls, and farmhouse sinks. But according to The New Yorker's reporting, the massively successful network is planning to embrace new types of show as streaming becomes the main way people consume television. During the same meeting, the Meth House Makeover was pitched. The executives discussed airing a series of rejected HGTV affiliates called The World's Weirdest Realtors, according to The New Yorker. The World's Weirdest Realtors would feature people who don't fit the traditional HGTV mold, like a realtor who specializes in finding homes for polyamorous families. House Hunters made headlines for featuring a throuple for the first time in its 17-year history in 2020. Neither Meth House Makeover, man, they really just punched that one in there, nor The World's Worst Realtors have been aired at the time of this writing. It's not clear if the shows are even in production. HGTV did not immediately respond to the insider's requests for comment on the story. Meth House Makeover. Would you watch?
Yeah, but that's something you have to disclose.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Man, maybe that's what I'll watch tomorrow while quote unquote working. Just home renovation shows.
Some meth house makeover.
It's been a while, like I haven't watched a good like Flip or Flop in a while.
I've been watching Flip or Flop, but I've been watching one of my favorite shows is Yard Crashers. I've watched I think yesterday was the first day I seen a new one. I mean, seen one I had already seen. It was 10 seasons before, while I was still only on DIY. And it was like a black host I didn't even know anything about. He was the first host on it. I ain't seen none of them. And, it's still 12 more seasons to go. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to switch it. So I went from Yard Crashers. Now I'm on Bath Crashers now.
Oh. It could be featured back to back with Crack House Cleanup.
Crack House Cleanup. Crack House Cleanup was Crack House Knockdown.
Have you kept Discovery Plus?
I have.
Okay. I was going to sign up for it around 420 because that's when Ron Funch's cooking show comes on. His weed-based cooking show comes on there, and I was like, I'll sign up for a week and watch his show right quick and see if I want to fuck with it.
I watch a lot of. It is a very great value because you get DIY, HGTV, Discovery Channel, ID Channel, OWN. It is a couple other ones. I went from you can watch a ton of those. She was in the bathroom. Murder shows, and then go from cooking. It has a whole something for the whole family, pretty much. And the fact that the regular version is $4.99, and the commercial free is only $7. Most other platforms charge you an additional $6 just to have it be.
Yeah, they usually double it.
Yeah, for no commercials.
I have Paramount Plus, formerly CBS All Access, and it is literally $5 a month if you want the commercial version, $10 if you want the non. I'll pay the $10 with little to no issue. So I'm with you. That's it. I like I said, I want to sign up for Ron Funch's show because I fuck with my man. So that's dope. I am all caught up on Harley Quinn on HBO Max, and I'm salty. But it did get approved for another season, so they are working on it. But I'm like, damn, man, I can't believe I'm all caught up on this show. This show is so fucking good.
I've been watching those Batman cartoons they have up on there. I started one the other day, and then I watched 3 of them today.
Yeah.
Since my work has slowed down, I've actually logged off of the job at my normal end time of 6 p.m. the last 2 days. And because I've been working so much OT for the last month, I've been when I log off, I don't know what the fuck to do with myself. I'm
my hands.
Yeah, I'm in a state of shock these last couple of days because I'm so used to just sitting here for extra hours and then having very little time to myself to just do whatever before I go to bed.
Yeah.
So I've been my days have been pretty streamlined. So now that I have that gap open back up, yes, I know I have shit around here I can do or whatever, but I'm still kind of now mentally adjusting to the fact that I have the time to do those things. So today, rather than do something, plus I have a guest in the home today, I picked out those up. So I watched the one the Red Hood one, which was the Jason Todd story.
Yeah.
I watched a Suicide Squad version one where it's Batman Assault on Arkham Asylum, but it was the Suicide Squad was in it. And then I watched Batman Dark Knight Reborn or Rises or some shit like that. It was a 2-parter.
Yep.
There's I saw they have more on there, so I'll probably work it. They're all pretty good in their own way.
Oh yeah, DC's animated offerings have always been really well done.
Yeah,
so much better than their movies have been. Until I feel like I need to watch that BVS extended cut too because everybody's talking about how good that is. So I'm glad you got to check out some of their cartoons because I said they do good work. Did you guys see that Suicide Squad reboot trailer?
I have not. What do you think?
No.
James Gunn is doing Suicide Squad. The guy who did
Suicide Squad,
Guardians of the Galaxy, and King Shark's in it, so I'm all the way in. I fucks with King Shark as a character, and I love that shit. But it looks great. It does. It really does look great. Viola Davis coming back as Amanda Waller because she's perfect in the role of Amanda Waller. Like no one better. No one is better.
So it's a reboot, not a sequel or prequel.
No, and yeah, correct. It is basically just we start anew. They kept everything good that they could keep. They were going to recast Will Smith's character, but Will Smith was like, I actually like that character. So if we could not do that, and so they said, okay, we won't do that. We'll just bring another character in that's pretty much Will Smith's character, which is Idris Elba is playing him. Margot Robbie back as Harley Quinn. I love her. She's so good as Harley Quinn. It's really a fun role to watch her play. Lots of people in it. King Shark is voiced by Sylvester Stallone.
Whoa.
So Michael Rooker's in it. You know what I'm saying? Of course Michael Rooker's in it because James Gunn loves Michael Rooker. But lots of people, and I'm like, I love the fact that the internet, a certain sector of the internet being a bunch of bitches, got James Gunn fired off of Guardians 3, so he gets to go make this amazing movie, and then Disney still had to hire his ass back to do Guardians 3. So your shit didn't work at all, and I get 2 universes worth of movies, you know what I'm saying, from the same guy. It's great.
So I don't have to watch the first Suicide Squad to watch the second one?
I would suggest you never watch the first Suicide Squad movie. It's awful, but the director is out here trying to get them to give him his version of it, an Ayer cut.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He like, if y'all did the Snyder cut, let me get my cut of the Suicide Squad. It was a better movie that y'all fucked up.
They should show the behind the scenes videos with like Will Smith and Margot Robbie boning.
You think that happened?
That was the insinuation online. I don't know if it was ever like verified or anything like that, but like that was the word on the street, you know. And it was like it would have like either been the catalyst or around the time that the Will Jada split had happened.
Well, I mean, apparently, you know what I'm saying? Apparently, the reason was because her fucking August. So
an entanglement.
Yeah, the whole thing about their relationship confuses me is because I thought they had like an open policy of sorts, but I'm not concerned enough to dig deep into the relationships like parameters of celebrities, you know?
Yeah, there was a rumor that she fucked Mark Anthony.
Oh.
Right on.
Yeah, because like I thought like they had like they would bring people in, and you know Will had like license to like fuck other people and shit, but like that's their business, and you know.
Well, that's none of my business.
Yeah.
Sips a cup of tea. I actually do have a cup of tea. I actually literally could sip it. All right, last story. I should have put this one before. We could have laughed.
That's not my mess.
We could have went off on a chuckle, and now we're about to go off on some serious shit. A teacher resigned after her racist rant stereotyping black families during a Zoom call was recorded by a parent. This is Ashley Ibrahimi over at CNN. After a Zoom call with a student and his mother, a California teacher who thought the call had ended was recorded saying her student has learned to lie and make excuses, calling the parents pieces of shit and saying this is what black people do, according to the mother's attorneys. Now the mother from the parent-teacher call, Katura Stokes has sent a pre-suit claim, a precursor to a lawsuit, to the school district for monetary compensation for emotional distress, defamation, negligence, and discrimination, according to Stokes' attorney, and a copy of the claim provided to CNN. Stokes' sixth grader had struggled since school has transitioned to online learning last year. At the start of the coronavirus pandemic, her attorney said, Stokes reached out to school officials at Desert Willow Fine Arts, Science, and Technology Magnet Academy in Palmdale, California, 37 miles north of LA, to get some help, according to a news release from Taylor and Ring, the lawsuit representing Stokes. The teacher scheduled a Zoom call for January 20th, and Stokes and her son, who is not named, and worked through recent assignments with him. According to the pretrial claim, by the end of the call, the teacher had assured him that he was caught up, the claim says. Given her son's struggles, Ms. Stokes was very pleased to hear this, the claim says. After the video conference, the teacher didn't end her Zoom call and made comments to someone in the video, which caught Stokes' attention. The news release says it prompted Stokes to record what she and her son heard for almost 30 minutes, it says, because they couldn't believe what she was hearing and thought no one would believe her otherwise. This is heinous, David Garcia, spokesman for the Palmdale School District, told CNN. This is a heinous event at the Palmdale School District will not stomach any racial behavior, where it's caught, whether it's caught on tape or not. Racial behavior? I don't think that's what he meant. I'm going to assume he meant racist behavior.
Racial behavior.
The school district has not named the teacher. However, the pre-suit notice of claim identifies her as Kimberly Newman, the son's 6th grade science teacher. Garcia said the district has not received the formal pre-suit claim as of Wednesday morning. CNN has reached out to the teacher's attorney, but not heard back. Stokes and her attorneys filed the pre-suit claim in an effort to shed light on educational system and district that creates an unequal educational experiences for its minority students, according to the news release. The horrible comments the teacher made in her video are truly heartbreaking for a mother to hear and for her young son to hear, John C. Taylor, one of Stokes' attorneys, said. It's unthinkable that an educator would mock and belittle the family, and there is no doubt the incident has scarred them. All children are entitled to receive an educational experience free of discrimination, and the video has demonstrated what minority students often face behind the scenes. CNN reached out to Stokes, but Taylor said she's declined to comment further at the time. I'm gonna let it end there, but I will again tell you to go over to CNN and check out Alicia Ibrahimi's reporting.
It's not a good time for teachers right now. Did you guys see the thing about the local story?
Oh,
please tell.
Okay, I'll read it here to you. Like I know the gist, but I'll read the article the update from 6 hours ago.
Okay.
Police hit obstacle in investigation into Rocky River High School teachers. The Fox 8 I team uncovered a push to block police from gathering evidence in their investigation into the teachers at Rocky River High School. Now a judge is giving lawyers a week to work out who gives up what records. So it just got harder getting to the bottom of the racy talk between teachers at the high school. Rocky River police are taking a second look into talk caught on camera about an explicit picture of a female student taken by a teacher. Police first looked at text messages, then did not find a picture of a teen. Then they reopened the case. But lawyers for the teachers in Rocky River schools want a judge to prevent police from gathering certain records from the schools. In court filings Thursday, a lawyer for the teachers argued police are going too far since it's centered around private text messages and private cell phones. Meantime, a filing from school district lawyers said the district is legally prohibited from giving out information from a public employee in an internal investigation. This comes after police asked the school district for any documents and pictures related to the case, plus any recorded interviews, notes, internal emails, personal files, and even contracts for the companies providing internet and cell phone service for the school. On Thursday, parents rallied outside district headquarters demanding to know more and be involved. What about claims of privacy in a criminal investigation? We went to Henry Hillo, a lawyer representing one of the teachers involved. Quote, this whole thing started about whether there was a picture. There's no picture. And now people want to get into a private cell phone, look into cell phones, and that's not right, Hillo said. A camera used for online learning captured the video that sparked the investigation. Two teachers discussed a photo of a student another teacher said he had taken and sent. One teacher on the recording talks about the student's attractiveness. Quote, I'm thinking, is he taking pictures of her in class? He said. It's not on my phone. And I double-checked to make sure there was nothing on my phone, end quote. So far, no one has seen any picture, but the investigation has hit a snag.
Jesus Christ.
That is one of the reasons I wanted to be a teacher. And I remember...
Clarify, sir.
I was about to... Not that I want to be like, yeah, let me take some pictures of these hot-ass students. No. I remember one of my mentors growing up was a male teacher, and he was just like, it's not... I love helping kids, but it's not worth the headache that I get from the mothers and the female coworkers I get. It's not worth it. That was his exact words. And he was just like... he was just like, he said it was a lot of headache. He probably was just going through some shit himself, but he told me not to do it. He said that's not the career you want to get into.
Oh,
I told my son I would definitely be talking to y'all about this on the show. This is just be a quick one. He has a homeboy who has been homeschooled. And I found out the other day that this child has dropped out of homeschool And I thought that to be the most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking existence. How the hell you gonna drop out of homeschool?
It's not the first time I ever heard of it. It's easier to drop out of homeschool, especially if you got a parent who's not like on you about that stuff. Like, oh yeah, of course I went to class today and never go, or like, it's terrible.
Apparently, this child's father was also a dropout who has done well for himself in life because white man. so he for right now is fine. They said he has to have a job out before the end of summer, and that's how he can keep living with them. If this is going to be what he does, and I'm just like,
how old is he?
Same age as Xander.
That's terrible. But
1 week older than Xander.
I mean, I've heard of people dropping out earlier than that.
I can already see how this is going to go.
Oh, my nigga.
Like 6 months, Xander's going to come to you and be like, Dad, my buddy has nowhere to go.
Well, anyway, I put the squash on him like, all right, let's check a couple things off the list. Your ass going to school. Fuck what you heard. And two, if that happens, I mean,
not naming names, but is this the kid who's like, mom never knows where he is and you always got to like feed him and shit?
That kid is going places in life. He may not be great, but he at least has his sport that he depends on, and it's what keeps him in line.
Just like his circumstances, like if you had said it was him, I'd be like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, the pressures of the world, he can only do so much. He's making a bad decision.
Yeah.
But like another kid, okay, now I'm intrigued.
No, this child is, like I said, his dad does very well. And so basically, he has what I would describe as upper middle class, near, I guess, lower upper class.
Well, like, all right, so if he's Xander's age, that means that like he's got to be nearing the end of like just finishing anyway, like just sticking out for a little bit. You're almost done.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to.
Man, like that's some shitty parenting. I'm sorry.
Oh. Agreed. But of course these parents went to Vegas during the height of the pandemic, and you know what I'm saying, and so forth, because they want to go race cars, because again, they do well. So they can go do that shit.
Mm-hmm. So,
and I've always said they're not good parents, but
okay, this is the only caveat. So you said you kept on saying the father does well. Does the father own the business where the son could just
No. But I guess you know what I'm saying, he does I think he does like programming stuff. I had to get my son to give me some descriptions, but he's well paid. So, like I said, and it's not generational. I was like, and I was talking to my son about it. I'm like, that's probably generational. Maybe his father's father had money, and of course that's what allowed him. He goes, no, he came from the sticks. He ain't had shit, but he got shit now, and of course his son will have shit there for him. You know what I'm saying? So
you know what? Like, it's always been like my thing was like, so Amish people don't. They learn within their community. There was always a thing where they said if they got their buying power together and like took their structure seriously, they would be the richest people in the world, because everything is learned from within. You a candlestick maker, your son's a candlestick maker. He taught you, your father taught you. Everything is self-contained in their community. So if his father can teach him how to do the same shit he doing, he'll be straight. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. So I mean,
exactly. So I feel bad for him in one sense, but also I don't like him. It's one of my kids. It's one of my kids' friends that I just don't like, and I never have. Even when he was younger, I was like, this little motherfucker.
Well, clearly he makes poor decisions, so I could see why. You had the soul read on him.
Yeah, I guess so. So I can't call it.
Hopefully, you'll be able to. Maybe you can make some extra money and help him pass high school.
I can't call it, but I
do his homework for him.
Tell his dad to give you some of that money.
He apparently is going to try to get his GED and
I hope he does.
Take care of business.
Because
you still got to do classwork. Just do the fucking shit now.
Because women,
high school was easy for me, so I just can't call it.
Yeah,
I guess
women only like dumb men for so long.
This school year, because a good chunk of it was from home and so forth, it has been a challenge for Xander. So it is. I can understand. I guess I got a bit of a grasp for it. So we hope for the best. We hope we'll do better. But I can't call it, but I definitely said, oh, I'm telling my niggas about this. He gonna drop out of homeschool. That's ridiculous. But Anthony has proven that it's
Drop
not
out of
ridiculous.
homeschool.
How you gonna get fired on your day off? That kind of shit right there. You know what I'm saying? For stealing boxes.
I know some people who dropped out of homeschool and they were still in junior high school. So,
bruh. Oh my gosh.
That'd be like me making a stupid decision to quit my work from home permanently job to go find a job to go back into an office.
People been doing that shit too.
Like, I'm gonna quit high school so I can go the GED classes. Like, it's the same shit, man. But now you're making it like more difficult.
Yeah, folks just want to make
Unless,
it a
I guess, like, if he's having trouble doing it at home and, like, actually going to a class would help keep him straight. But, like, aren't they all going back to, like, normal classrooms soon anyway?
So he's been in homeschool since, I want to say, like, the second year of junior high. He got into it with somebody. He got into it with somebody. He got into it with somebody at school, and
so he's like one of those.
And the principal was not cool. It was a bit of a dick about it, and so his parents was like, "Well, fuck it, we'll just teach him at home."
Was this during a time of zero tolerance?
I mean, it's still going on.
I remember when that existed.
I can't call it, but either way,
I was just about to make the joke that that he didn't go to school because he was getting bullied at home, but you know.
But it's like you let them come home, but you're not doing what you need. So they've been on this shit before anybody can do it. So if anybody, they should be professionals at this shit because that has been his existence for some years now. And it's like, fuck it. As long as your ass got a job before the end of the summer, you straight. And I'm like, no. But we keep motherfucking moving. That is the end of our little news segment. I like that. I like our little news segment. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I enjoy it. I don't know. I like it better. I like the discussion that we get out of it. Is what it all comes down to.
I like it when they're kind of short in nature like this, and we talk about it and relate it to shit.
Yeah.
I get kind of bored when you read for 20 straight minutes and no one else talks.
Hey man, I try.
We haven't had that for a while.
I try to be, but also I ain't been doing the news. Anthony been doing the news, so we have a better newsman.
I try to find stuff that we can all talk about, not just be like, oh. Something happened in Palestine. I try to like a lot of stuff. When I send it, just like with anything in life, I look at the what the article says. Some stuff when I send it to T, I'm like, all you got to do is read the headline, and we can just go from there. So yeah, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, this has been nice. Like I admittedly tuned out some in the beginning, like during the COVID season, like the 20-minute COVID update about Cuyahoga County. Like I tuned out.
It's okay. And like again, as it turns out, sharing the weight of this show, not that it is a weight, but sharing it amongst ourselves just leads to a better show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't really see any good, like, AITAs this week, so that's why I didn't send any.
I literally didn't even grab any until we got on the mic tonight. We were already talking to each other before I started pulling them, so...
Yeah, every time I saw one pop up in my feed, like, I didn't feel it was show-worthy.
Yeah. So...
And we also don't want to be the show that talks about everything, talks about the thing everyone else is talking about. Everyone's probably talking about Matt Gaetz and his teenage love, Don't Hurt Him Again.
Do you know?
Now, like,
where you're going to?
Is the problem with that like they were potentially underage sex worker? Because like, what's the legal age in Florida?
No.
Legal age in Florida is 18. Surprisingly, I thought it was one of those other states just like fuck it, 15, go buck. But like 18 is the 18 is the age in Florida. I was surprised.
The issue is not the age in this situation, though that is a part of it. The issue is crossing state lines with a minor is considered human trafficking by the federal government.
Wasn't that like a Rob Lowe thing or something like
he
that?
Just had sex on tape.
Yeah.
I thought some celebrity had like sex in the air, and it was like they crossed state lines or something, and they checked the person was underage or something.
Oh, is that how they got them?
They started in like a 16 state and then ended up in like an 18 state or something like that.
So I'm not okay. Fuck it. We're gonna cipher some divine wisdom about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz. So
the biggest chin I've ever seen.
So
the side of Jay Leno.
A couple of wild things about Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz has an adopted son.
Lester.
Nestor.
Did he get this kid after he drummed up that fake family on that tirade a couple months back?
I mean, Nestor's been there for a bit now, but everybody had already had for years put two and two together and was like, oh, that just must be his little boy toy. It used to be an old school thing amongst the gay men was to adopt your lover
So they can get your benefits.
so that you could legally pass on your estate to them after you died. It was a very normalized thing back in the day because they couldn't get married. So what they did instead was adopt. So everybody had pretty much accepted Matt Gaetz must be gay and has adopted this Nestor as his little boy toy. For it to be coming out now that Matt Gaetz is crossing state lines with young women, more than one, of course fucking people's heads up left and right because they're like, wait, but Matt Gaetz is straight? or not, or whatever Matt Gaetz' proclivities are. But also, he's traveling the country with him. So he showed up on Tucker Carlson the other night, right?
Yeah, I heard some of this, but
So what's
I
wild
like
about
the Tay Ralph version of this.
So what's wild about that one is Tucker is mad at him because he's like, "Don't be dragging me into your shit." Because he's on there, he's like, "Tucker, you met the young lady. We all went out to dinner one night together." And Tucker's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about, my dude. Please." so when even Tucker Carlson is like, hell no, don't pull me into this shit. It's extra ass wild, man. And so now I'm seeing stories. I was looking at Gabe was tweeting, so I was checking out what Gabe was tweeting, and like some of these things that are coming out are there might be a fake ID scam with Matt Gaetz because basically trying to get these underage people fake IDs.
What is he buying gift for kids outside
Information that may connect
you guys beer.
Information that may connect Gaetz to a fake ID scheme at the center of the case against the school, against that second Florida politician. Because so basically what they ended up doing is the Fed is already pushing on against one Florida politician. Pushing on that one has brought up all this shit against Matt Gaetz. So now they're like, oh, this motherfucker. And he's like I said, he was on Tucker talking about this is an investigation that my father wears a wire for the FBI. And they're like, bruh, you don't ever cop to that.
What the
And here's another thing. Matt Gaetz is already like, I don't really want to fuck with Congress no more. I'm probably gonna quit soon anyway. And go become a
high school guidance counselor.
A person,
no, teacher.
I don't know what the hell on one of the right wing news channels. So it's just I get it. You're right. Everybody in my probably talking about Matt Gaetz on their show this week, and by the time this show comes out, it'll be all like, oh, that's old news. But
or maybe something wilder will come out will make this all irrelevant.
Or he swallowed a bullet.
A fair point. We should
his R. Kelly tape is gonna drop.
This is Mr. Mad.
Justice Department inquiry into Matt Gaetz said to be focused on cash paid to women. This came about because when I was just on Twitter, and I see Cash App trending. Cash App being, handing out some Bitcoin here and there. And I was like, ooh, were they doing it again? But no, it's because Matt Gaetz punk ass maybe been using Cash App or other services to send money to these women.
I find did he Venmo him and then put emojis in the thing where it's just like the eggplant and the peach or whatever?
Oh my god! And which one is it? Venmo? Okay, one of them things works like a social network unless you turn it off.
Yeah, Venmo. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
with Venmo, when you send it, you can type what it's for, but you can put emojis and shit in it. And then when you send the payment, there's a feed where all your friends can see it, but then there's also a global feed. So if you don't set your shit to private, everyone in the world could see who you sent money to and what reason you typed for. So sometimes when I'll send shit to my buddies, I'll put shit for all the gay, hardcore gay butt sex last night, shit like that, just wacky shit.
Just for that wop last night, baby.
Just a quick,
hardcore anal, I believe, is the one I use the most.
Just a quick quote from this New York Times story from Mr. Gaetz or somebody in Mr. Gaetz' life. It says, quote, Matt Gaetz has never paid for sex. The statement said.
Man, everybody pays for sex. You just pay in different ways.
Yeah, really.
Matt Gaetz refutes.
That's only what people say who pay for sex.
Refutes all the disgusting allegations completely. Matt Gaetz has never, ever been on any such websites whatsoever. Matt Gaetz cherishes the relationships in his past and looks forward to marrying the love of his life.
Lester.
No charge of brought Matt Gaetz instead of his Matt Gaetz. That's a statement from Matt Gaetz' office.
Go ahead and check my Venmo history, bitch. You ain't gonna find nothing there. Just some hardcore anal.
Oh,
I guess, never mind. You're right. That would be paying for prostitution. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. So I have lots of prostitution on my record.
Wait a minute. It keeps going. A lawyer for Mr. Greenberg, Fritz Scheller, declined to comment, as did a Justice Department spokesman. But here, let me read you this. It is not illegal to provide adults with free hotel stays, meals, and other gifts. But if prosecutors think they can prove the payments to the women were for sex, they can accuse Mr. Gaetz of trafficking the women under force, fraud, or coercion. For example, prosecutors have filed trafficking charges against people suspected of providing drugs in exchange for sex because feeding another person's drug habit can be seen as coercion. So that is already pretty wild. If it got wilder in between now and the time you hear this show, maybe we'll talk about it again next week.
I feel like they could take that and stretch it to anything.
That's why the laws are written that way. They're meant to be.
It's oh man, they had a food addiction, so they fed them brownies in order to have sex with them.
Feed. Again, that was supposed to be the news. That is the news segment. We move on from it. Ant-Man, what's banging with you, sir?
No, I guess I'll cover my bases with the shot talk.
Fair enough. Box, we bob along over to you, man. What's been going on in your world, if you care?
I had a little bit of a Twitter beef battle today.
Oh shit!
Inadvertently.
Jump on over to Box's tweet right quick.
I'm gonna look at this too.
Yeah. So the whole thing was yesterday, a former Ohio State player had quote tweeted the University of Georgia. And I don't remember the exact tweet off the top of my head. I don't have my phone open right now. But they were alluding to the fact of, how good somebody on their team was or something like that. And the Ohio State player said something to the effect of, can't trust what you say because you let Justin Fields leave. Justin Fields used to be a player at the University of Georgia, but then he transferred to Ohio State, where he played the last 2 years, and now he's in the NFL draft and going to be an early first-round pick. And I saw that, and I replied to him, and I said, Joe Burrow has entered the chat. Because, I found it funny that former Ohio State player, NFL bust, was saying that to the University of Georgia, but then we did the same fucking thing where, Ohio State let Joe Burrow leave and go to LSU, and then he went on to win a national championship at LSU and be the first overall pick in the draft. So I thought it was a little hypocritical. And then, I had, some people fucking coming at me, trying to debate me that, oh, well, Ohio State didn't know that Joe Burrow was going to do that, and, we had these other players that did all this other stuff, and so you're wrong. It's not really the same. And I'm just it's actually exactly the fucking same, except Joe Burrow actually did better because he actually won. And we're well, no, because, he wasn't that good, and this other guy threw for 4,000 yards, and then, this other guy came in and he did other stuff, so, you're just wrong. And I'm that guy, that you're talking about, he had one good year, and then he went to the NFL, and he sucked ass, and now he's already on his second team after his second year in the league. And the other guy is probably going to be, the fourth quarterback taken in this draft class. And the other guy won the Heisman, won that national title, and was the first overall pick in the draft. And so, no, I'm right. And so then, the dude gets on there again today, and then, it flipped from, speaking with, respect and trying to have a discussion. So you're a moron and blah 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 blah, fucking moron. And then he put me into a list where it was titled clown with 2 clown emojis. So I wrote back what I've come to find that I enjoy very much is saying something to the effect of like, did someone hurt your feelings? Someone on Twitter who's upset? Rather than cussing at that person? So then I wrote something like that back to him. And then I wrote another tweet where I like ran down why his entire argument was wrong. Again, with greater detail. And then I told him that if he was going to be a shitty-ass Ohio State fanboy Twitter account, that he needs to learn his fucking Ohio State timeline. And then I created a list called Cucks, and I put him in it. And I put the description of the list as a place for bitch-ass cucks.
Wow. You are... Oh my god. You're the wildest.
And the whole thing is like, I had like a similar thing happen the other day, but it wasn't as bad, where like the Cavs like released Andre Drummond, that like they agreed to a buyout. And then he went to the Lakers, and the Lakers stands are all like, yeah, the Lakers are going to fucking win the championship. We got Drummond. He's amazing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Andre Drummond fucking sucks. I'm like, I've watched him play for the last year. Like, yeah, the dude puts up, like, some numbers, but he put up some numbers on some, like, shit-ass Detroit Pistons teams. And then I come here, and, like, we traded for him. I watch him play. The dude, he can't jump. He's 6'10", and he can barely dunk. Like, I watched a highlight of his Lakers debut last night where he got blocked on, like, he tried to dunk from, like, 2 feet away from the rim and got half blocked by the Bucks player and half blocked by the rim. And then, like, they're like, well, he averages all these rebounds. I'm like, yeah, 13 rebounds a game is his average right now. 9 of those are defensive, which is solid. 4 of those are offensive. But when you actually watch him play, it's like, he gets, like, all those offensive rebounds in one possession because he's so bad that, like, he barrels his way to the hoop and he throws up, like, a crappy layup that has no chance of going in. And then he just, because he's, like, bulky, because he's, like, 300 pounds, he just kind of taps the ball a bunch of times, so each tap counts as another rebound. Yeah. So he, like, inflates his rebounding stats. And then, like... when he's the focal point, he does dumb shit, like trying to dribble the ball up the court when he has, like, no coordination. He's horrible around the rim. Like, his backup post moves are, like, god-awful. I'm like, for the Lakers, like, yeah, you're getting a 6'10" guy who's not Marc Gasol who'll get you some rebounds. Like, keep your expectations low. Like, you didn't just get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I was wondering why were making such a stink about him going to L.A. Like, it was such a big deal. I'm like, that guy's not that good. And I don't even watch basketball with that depth of knowledge that you have, but I know that motherfucker ain't, like, y'all need to be showing him in an LA uniform with his arms crossed looking like he about to go. Mm-hmm. They think LA's going to get the chips, so they think by that design he'll be a championship player. But I'm like, he's not a championship caliber player. Just not.
Like, the fact that, like, the Lakers have LeBron and Anthony Davis, like, if they get healthy... Like, having Drummond as, like, your center isn't, like, terrible. Yeah. Like, he can play basketball, but just not at the level that everyone seems to think he can. It's like these people just look at the box score and don't actually watch the motherfucker play. Yeah. So they see, like, 20 and 13, he's God. But, like, no, like, he's on a bad team and he just gets fed those opportunities. But he's really actually not that good. Watching him play for the Cavs was like watching, like, a child learn how to walk, but, like, while playing basketball. It's like some of the shit I would see him do. I'm just like, that has absolutely zero fucking chance of working. What are you thinking? Like, I constantly, I'd be watching him like, why did you do that? Why? Like, why did you dribble behind your back right there? You're 6'10" with terrible coordination. Why did you do that? Why did you decide to not give the ball to the point guard and dribble the ball up the court yourself and then dribble it off your foot? Why did you decide to put your head down, crab dribble into the middle of the lane, and then not be able to get a shot up around 3 people that you were there the whole time? Like, you have no hook shot. Like, your post game is horrible. Like, if you can't throw your butt into the other person's hip and, like, wedge your way to the rim, you have no, like, any kind of semblance of post game whatsoever. You can't shoot for shit. Like, I don't want to come across as, like, making it seem like I hate Andre Drummond. I hate the fans' perspective that he's amazing, but he's not.
I don't know if that's actually a fan perspective per se. I think a lot of it is just like the ESPNs and the Fox Sports of the world pushing this narrative that, oh, he's going to be so great now that he's out from underneath that terrible Cavs team. And I'm just like, nah, champ, he's just really not that good. And hey, best of luck to him in LA, gravy. But
I think part of the other thing that irritates me about it all is, like, I do watch, like, some of the segments that get put up on YouTube from, like, the various talk shows, whenever there's a subject that I'm interested in listening to. And I find myself a lot of times watching, like, ones with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp irritates me sometimes with, like, the way he talks about the Lakers, like he's been a Lakers fan his entire life.
Yeah.
And, like, you haven't been a Lakers fan your whole time, at least that I'm aware of. You're a Lakers fan right now because LeBron's on that team. You did the same shit when LeBron was here in Cleveland. It was like you were wearing Cavs jerseys and we and us and we're going to do... Like, no, it wasn't no we. The minute that LeBron went to L.A., you forgot about us. You treat like you talk about Cleveland like we're shit. And now it's like the Lakers are, we go win the championship and all the Lakers this and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, you're dick riding LeBron everywhere location he goes. Yeah. And you're talking up Drummond like he's the next coming. Like, and then it's like these fans that I see talk about, like, it's the problem is I have this mental desire to want to correct them, and I know it will not end well for me. So I fight the urge as best I can. But then, like, some of the shit they say is just so idiotic. So I'm struggling with, like, keep taking my own advice of not replying or not even engaging to begin with. And that's like why I've never actually said anything to Shannon Sharp, because that motherfucker will quote tweet me and he'll fucking insult me somehow. Because I see this motherfucker do this shit all the time, where like somebody will come at him sideways on something, and even if they're right, and he'll quote tweet them and he'll spin it, and then he'll send his army of people after that person. And I'm not trying to have my DMs blown up by like some Shannon Sharp like idols.
Yeah,
you know, like,
for sure. I hear you. And they're trying to take on no multiple follower accounts on some bullshit.
Yeah, but like my thing is, it's like I display my argument logically with stats and reasoning, and then it'll be like some, and I can tell by the way they talk that they're younger than me, and they'll come and be like, "Oh, I guess the coach doesn't like offensive rebounds." Like, you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Like, you just want to be an asshole, and. This is not relevant necessarily to this, but what the fuck does ratio mean?
So
I'm assuming it's a Call of Duty kill death thing, but I don't know for sure. I just see it all the time, and I haven't read the fucking Urban Dictionary on it.
So to be ratioed on Twitter is basically your amount of likes and or retweets. So if you have said some wild out shit and you have mostly retweets or quote tweets, meaning the world is coming for that ass, you've been ratioed. And so
I thought it was replies.
I mean, it is. It's like the same difference. Like I said, it's all that. It's all the response. Quote tweets are
a quote tweet is just where you're getting put on blast and they're making sure all their people can see it.
Yeah. So when like so if you see one of those 1,000 to 500 hearts, the ratio is you've been ratioed.
I feel like that is not as strong of an insult as a lot of these people make it seem.
It's not. I mean, like I said, I guess. I mean, that means a bunch of people respond to me, but a bunch of people can respond to me, but I can also just go in and mute conversation and never see it again. I've taken to as of late. Now I still get my block game popping. But I didn't have to do shit. But I did check a fool yesterday for saying some wild ass shit. And I just muted him. I didn't block him. I muted him. So if he said anything to me, I don't know about it. And I never will. Because it's just, he can just yell into the void, talk all the shit he wants, and I'll never know it. And I like that feeling.
I was actually shocked that account today didn't block me. All right. Because, like, the insults I see, like, commonly from this generation lately are ratio and simp.
And we were saying
Simp is
simp back in the
old,
day.
man.
It's so old.
I know, but they brought it back.
I know.
It's like
It never
retro.
left. It's like
I think it left. I left for a little while because like we didn't use it. I can't like after you guys were done with it. Like we didn't pick it back up for a while.
We were using. Simp has never left. That's kind of like when people were like, "Oh, this is the new Harlem Shake," and I was like, "The Harlem Shake has always been a dance. It never left. People still did the Harlem Shake. It's like what's that one drink? Tab. People never stopped drinking Tab. Just
until Coke stopped selling it. Oh my God! I just sent y'all something in the old Twitter group chat.
Oh, Twitter.
Apparently, Bad Baby is of age now and made an OnlyFans and has already cracked $1 million.
Ugh, people were waiting on that.
That's Catch Me Outside, girl.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I only knew that because like she's supposed to be like a rapper or something, right?
She's actually a halfway decent rapper. Just gotta admit that to you right now. Not awful.
I bet you she was homeschooled.
I bet her ass dropped out of homeschool too. I don't feel like she graduated, dog.
And look at that, made something of herself. Maybe there's something to
like
this.
She's calmed down over the last couple of years.
She really has, and has been. It's been interesting to watch her grow and become a person and a person of her own ilk. She been trying to fight against the camp Dr. Phil sent her to. Because people have been coming out about that camp experience, and she was like, "Well, here, let me tell my story, so these people aren't alone." So, respect, dude.
Coming out in what way? Like she was like diddled or something?
No, but she did feel that it was an abusive situation there, and the way they treat the people at that camp.
Isn't that supposed to be like boot camp or whatever?
But it's not. And like I said, other people come out who have been diddled and otherwise harmed. So it's like she wanted to come and tell her story and help spread their story. So,
and I mean, I think the biggest part of that is she's just now 18. She's almost been in public eye, was felt like forever.
She was like 13 when she went on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, that.
Like I haven't not kept up on this woman's life, but I've heard shit through the internet grapevines over the years. Yeah. I've heard shit about nudes leaking, like breast implants or something. I heard the thing about the rap career. These are all things I've heard. None of them I've researched.
Sure,
Let me get that on the record. I'm not Matt
no.
Gates and this girl.
I'm saying if news leak, that's automatically just child porn, right? That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So that's already gross. Her rap stuff, like I said, she had that one song, "Ha Bitch," pretty good, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, "Ha Bitch, Ha Bitch." So like I said, not the worst MC. She's okay talent wise.
I guess maybe it just goes to show you that some of these hip hop rap artists, the female ones in particular, could have come from the most odd situations. Who would have thought Cardi B would be who Cardi B is? Former stripper out there drugging dudes and robbing them, and now just telling it in the news all willy nilly, and no one gives a shit.
Cardi B was internet famous for quite a while before she got on, and she's always been hilarious to me. I followed her before she was on Love and Hip Hop, because she used to have hoes don't get cold and stuff, those videos. Those things were always hilarious.
She was tweeting about WWE wrestlers a month and a half ago, and she doesn't know what kayfabe is and all that kind of shit.
Oh, okay.
So some of the wrestlers were tweeting back at her, and she was getting so excited. Trish Stratus had tweeted back at her because she was talking to fans about how she used to watch it back in the day and who some of her favorite wrestlers were. And because she's so famous, obviously the wrestlers are going to try and steal some of her clout by responding back to her, So some of them did, but then some of them used it as an opportunity to try and start something with her, But wrestling's fake, but she didn't get that. So the one lady was tweeting shit at her almost as an invitation to come find out about how real WWE is and this and that and the other, and it went back and forth for a couple. And Cardi B is like, all I was doing was tweeting about WWE and how much I was a fan, and now I got this woman over here fucking harassing me and shit. And it was like so hilarious to see someone so oblivious to the situation, but like being so honest about what they thought was happening.
It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know why this white woman is attacking me on the Twitter. But fuck this bitch, I don't have to stand for it.
Shit, she from the, I think she from the Bronx. You don't want no smoke.
How? What a night. We really have been going on some directions.
Yeah. We're all over the place. Aren't we always, though? Aren't we always?
Yeah, the whole thing, though, about that Twitter fight I got into was I wasn't even trying to fight with anybody.
I trust as much. You never are.
The whole thing started out with me as me saying a joke with like a false equivalency.
And then somebody who didn't take your advice as to not bother talking to people was like, I have to fucking make a statement. And you're like, bro, no, you didn't. You can relax and not talk to anybody because it's real easy to not respond on Twitter. Like I said, people be having such experiences on Twitter and they be like, I had to leave Twitter behind. It was fucking my life. I'm like, I don't have that experience. Because as soon as if I see some wild shit in almost all situations, not all, but in almost all situations, I'm like, I'm going to block this person right now preemptively. So I never see that shit in my timeline again. Only reason I said some shit to that one dude is he said some wild shit to a local weather person. I didn't have to say shit to that person, but I was just like, fuck off, you piece of shit. Don't be talking wild to this person that you don't know.
Was it Holly Strano?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I really would have gotten his ass. It was Holly. It was Sam Roberts from Channel 19. And I was just like, she posted like, look at the shit I see. And I'm like, this motherfucker. And so she corrected him and she said, she's the worst weather person ever. And she was like, meteorologist. And I laughed my ass off. She's like, bitch, I went to college and got a degree. I studied this shit. Don't call me a weather person. I ain't out here reading this shit. I went to school for it. And I was amused by that. So I was like, all right, Sam, respect.
I don't necessarily want to shit on a profession.
Yeah.
But I feel like meteorology is the kind of thing like I could kind of like figure out within 2 days worth of studying.
It is such an interesting field of study that I wouldn't doubt if you'd have a great time at it. The actual study of the weather is what I think. Well,
because the thing I mean about it, it's like a lot of the stuff is built off of weather patterns and projections from the radar. So like all you have to do is be able to read the fucking readouts, right? Like you input the data in the system based on what the current movement is with all the wind patterns and everything, and then the system moves the shit around in a predictive way. You just have to interpret that information. I don't understand why this requires like a college degree.
Because it's the actual study of it. So what we get at the end, basically what they just give us in, weather apps and on the news is different than what people are studying overall. And so I just like the idea of the study. It's like a type of history when you think about it, because they're studying phenomena over years and so forth and patterns and so forth. I just dig the idea of the study of meteorology. I always have, since they taught us that basic shit in like earth science, you know what I'm saying? How, clouds work and shit. So I don't know.
I can see that like there being a need for that kind of shit. Like if you're studying like global warming and crap like that, like where I need to go deeper. But like the local meteorologist feels like something that you could do at like the Cleveland Broadcasting Academy or something like that. Like, because I like,
that's the difference. There are people who are weather reporters or just weather readers who just read the information that is given to them by actual meteorologists. Meteorologists attend a school. Almost all of them go to a school for it, which is I believe in Mississippi, because it's such a good school for the study of meteorology. It's just dope, man. I like learned individuals. I like people who like fucking. I went to go.
Yeah, like, oh, why did you want to go to college to be a meteorologist? Oh, because I wanted to stand in front of a Walmart during a hurricane so I could tell people that there was a hurricane.
Catch a motherfucking bucket to the face or some shit. So I don't know. I can't call it. But it's like I said, I don't do a lot of fighting on Twitter, but I will every now and again, just like you did. He's like you're like, all right, I need to correct this. This is so egregious that it has to be spoken to. So every so often, it just happens that way.
And it's like, and like with the Drummond thing was just like me replying to like the first tweet.
Yeah.
Like I didn't go into a thread that was already going on and interject or whatever. And then this one started off as me like making it like a joke.
Yeah.
And there's other people wanting to come and correct
was
me, and
such
I'm
a-
like,
it was-
if you come at the king, you best not
It was
miss.
such a gentle joke at that. It was like not even like anything that
Yeah.
needed whatever. It was just like
It was a very millennial joke.
it was like just a little
Joe Burrow has entered the chat.
yeah. That's something you could type that out and smile and move on with your life. But these motherfuckers
Yeah,
is like
that's exactly what I thought it was doing.
hell no, that shit ain't what it's real.
And then like when I got into Twitter, because like Twitter doesn't always send me notifications like from like replies and stuff. I think I might have it turned off because I didn't want like to get like annoyed all the time. So like I don't always see shit right away. So because there's some times where like I'll open Twitter multiple times in an hour, and then sometimes where I don't open Twitter for 5, 6, 7 hours. So like I didn't see that shit right away. So when I went in there, I was like, motherfucker, this is what we're doing? Okay. You know?
It's wild out
like-
here, man. It is wild.
I think what this situation, what it was like there was like the one main person who was like trying to disprove me, and then they had like someone in the background was like, "Yeah, you tell him."
Tell him, Steve.
And I was like, "Oh
Dave.
hell no!" Like I think like one way to get me riled up is to have a hype man on your side.
Like now I gotta check both y'all. We gonna do this real quick.
Yeah, I was willing to have a Discord, but now you've pissed me off.
It's real. It's like, please don't make me have to stick and move on your ass.
I don't need no Murphy
But-
B's talking back to me.
Yeah, but I feel like when I get into those discussions, the moment the other person turns to name calling, I feel as if I've won.
Oh yeah. Immediately when people have left facts behind, you've already successfully done what you had to do.
Yeah, when you start off your last tweet as "you're a moron," I've won.
Like, sir, come now.
Concede
You
defeat.
should. When he said
Oh, my
you're a
goodness,
moron, he said, "I'm no Mormon. I don't believe in gold plates."
But you know how we do, people. Everybody has had a chance. Hey, wait a minute, Gabriel, have you had your chance at the bat? I don't think I've giving you an opportunity.
No, not really, but I mean, we all gotta go to bed at some time. No,
Nah, fuck that.
I had a pretty good week. Things going well. I'm feeling more appreciated this week.
Gabe,
Some funny things happen.
don't you know we love you, sweet?
You're back in the office now, right?
That starts next week. Well, it starts tomorrow technically because like even during this time of being out of the office, I was in the office one day a week, and tomorrow is my day. So today was my last day working from home. It seems like ever again because that's how my boss feels about it.
I feel so bad for you.
Nah, don't feel bad.
Hey, Court.
Well, no, it's
okay.
because like the other 75% of this podcast like can't relate to your situation anymore. So that's why I feel bad. Like you're the odd man out of this group right now.
It's all right. I concentrate better in the office, and
I guess with your situation, I can understand that. Yeah.
yeah. It's. I love getting hugs in the middle of the day and everything. But for concentration purposes, me in the office might be better, and sometimes just the key to marriage is communication. And I'm feeling a little more appreciated now that me and the missus communicated with one another. And now I feel kind of bad of talking bad about her last week, but I was in a bad place.
You had hate in your heart, and you had to let it out.
Yes.
Also, I don't know if that made the show.
This won't either.
If it didn't, then you can cut this out too. A couple funny things happened. Nothing real, like anecdotes. Like my wife was spraying down the dining room table to clean it up, and the dog was next to her, and my 3-year-old comes running up and hits the dog with full force with a magnifying glass. Just like swings down and I'm just playing with the dog. My wife instinctively goes, "Oh no, stop!" and sprays
Your daughter?
my daughter right in the face.
That's actually I respect that move.
I've been said that's the way. We talked about this maybe 2-3 weeks ago. That's what you got. You got to take it to the old school pet way. Just start spraying them in the face with something. It was meant for the 5-year-old, but I mean, if you need to expand down to both the youngins, need to get sprayed. Hey,
She
man.
felt immediately bad about it. I'm laughing at the same time saying, "Oh, that was not a great parent move." But like, we all have our bad parent moments, right?
Yeah, but don't you guys use like natural stuff at your house anyway?
Yeah, so it's just natural spray. There's nothing harmful. It didn't bleach her in the face.
But it did it at
Fuck
least
you,
stun her?
chemicals.
Did it at least stun her momentarily?
She was taken aback by it. That's for sure.
There we go. We're right in the zone where we need to be.
We can't be hitting a dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
Like,
That's what we agree. We're all on your side here.
Yeah, I'm not upset that your wife sprayed your daughter in the face with disinfectant. I think she had it coming.
Jesus.
Well, all right, all natural disinfectant. I think she had it coming.
Yeah.
As an animal lover, I'm on the dog side. I'm like 3 seconds away from saying "fuck that kid." Like the MJ meme. Fuck them kids.
Okay.
That's yeah, that is MJ.
I yelled at
Republicans buy sneakers too.
I was giving a vitamin gummy to one of my. I yelled at my 7, about to be 8-year-old today because I'm giving him a vitamin gummy, and I just kind of feed it to him, and he snatches it out of his mouth, and like an excited puppy, he getting a treat, he bit me on the fingers.
That shit happens from time to time,
I don't want to be bit by my son. I'm like, damn it!
Oh, your son bit you. I thought we were talking about the dog.
No, I said my son, like an excited puppy getting a treat, bit me on the fingers.
I heard puppy, and then like my mind stuck on puppy. Okay.
No,
yeah,
my 7-year-old bit me on the fingers.
Bite him back.
He felt bad about it immediately, though. I'm not raising any sociopaths. They do these things, and then they feel bad about it, and I'm like, okay, you're not a psycho.
Were you yawn?
Is that from Luther?
No, I just thought that was in the book I read about it. If like you yawn and somebody else don't yawn, they're a psychopath.
I heard that. I heard that from Luther, though. The Idris Elba show.
I never watched that before.
It's a good show. You should watch it.
I'm fascinated by the concept of like breaking the cycle, because like I don't think like you should be like beating like not I don't mean you, I mean people in general. I don't think people should like necessarily be beating their kids and shit like that. But like it's hard to reason with a child too to some degree. So like where do you draw the line of like getting through to them on like teaching them not to do shit without beating the shit out of them, I don't mean like, like putting them in the infirmary, but like, I got spanked on the butt with a frying pan a time or two, like, but like, I'm not broken up by it as an adult,
It was just a non-stick though, right?
But like,
it wasn't like a cast iron.
I don't think it was, it wasn't cast iron. My family didn't have cast iron.
It was one of those
We were poor. Yeah, and it was like from the Goodwill. It was a little bent with like a dent in it. So like it didn't sit on the burner flush. But yeah, like I'm not saying like when you tell me these stories about your children, I just like I wonder like if they grow out of it, or like how do they grow out of it, or like how do you help them along? Like it's such a fascinating thing to me that I'm interested to see how this all plays out. Because, like, I sometimes wonder, like, what I would do, because I know my initial reaction, but I feel like my initial reaction comes from an abusive place. So, like, I don't want to necessarily go with my initial reaction.
It's I guess naturally it's don't react out of anger. Because when they fuck up, the first thing you are angry about it. You have to push past that.
Yeah, because like when you just said the thing about your kid biting you, I remember a time when one of my young sisters bit my stepmom back in the day, and then my stepmom bit her back.
Like literally just sunk her teeth in there?
Yeah. Not like, it wasn't like a common thing, but like my sister was being a little bratty bitch, and kept like biting her, and she kept telling her to knock that shit off, and then finally she snapped, and like she gave her one back, and then the kid broke with the crocodile tears and shit. Like, it's like, where's the line? Because it's like you don't want to bite your kid, but like if your kid bites you 10 times in a row and you tell him to stop, at some point you got to throw the hammer down. At least I feel like, but it's like maybe you don't throw the hammer down, you just keep letting them bite it 100 times, and you try and reason them with them like a fucking hostage situation. Like, it's like, what do you do? Like, you feel like you're in a no-win situation no matter what path you take.
I say around the house is all the time is, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Like, if you're being a terrorist about it, I don't negotiate with you. You just go to bed. Or you just go away. I don't negotiate with that.
Yeah, like if I had kids, like my goal obviously would be to try and help raise them into like productive members of society, like solid adults that could get through life, have an enjoyable life, and feel like good people. But like, I don't want to be the reason some kid ends up in therapy when he's 25 talking about how shitty his dad was to him, you know? So it's like, listening to your stories just fascinate me because like I sometimes struggle with how I would handle the situation, you know?
I feel like when the first thing you gotta have or you should have is a good partner. Somebody who, like, when you're too angry to speak or too angry to react, that they can be like, well, I'll react to this particular situation, or I'll be able to like bounce off you or feel how you feeling, and like react. Because we got like certain situations, like we were talking about boogers earlier. I'm good at handling boogers and stuff. Like, that's totally what I can do for the most part. So when it's some booger time, that's what I gotta handle. Or when it's like, I don't know, something more mathy or something like that. Hey, your mom. I mean, I joke around and say like, your mother graduated honors. Go ask her. I don't know.
It is good to get a partner who will give you an outsider's perspective of yourself. Like, hold on a second there. Like I had to do with my wife. Like, hey, not great parent move. And she realized it. Sometimes she has to do that with me. Like, hey, you realize you're yelling. Like, okay, yes, that's true. I am yelling.
I know for like me personally, I could never thrive in the situation like your family life. And I say that because there's no way mentally I could handle 4 children every day for the rest of my life. Like, the way I can do it in spurts, but the way I am mentally, I would break down at some point. It's the same reason why I didn't want to be in the office anymore. I don't want to be around that many people every fucking day. I become miserable. Because every day I'm pretending like I want to be there and be surrounded and like,
the difference
I don't.
Is, like, you don't want to be around that many people that you work with, like that you're just working with. When you're around like that many people you love is different. Like,
sometimes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I was out with my buddies for a going away party 2 weeks ago.
That was your buddies. Like, the person, like when you find the person you like, you're going to have sex with her, and something's going to come out of there.
Oh, I'm not saying I would want to be away from my partner, but if I had 4 kids running around, I'd want to break mentally.
I'm not even saying like 4 kids. If you have 2 kids, because like I said, I can only really
2 would be my limit.
So what if you bust loose one and she had triplets right off the bat?
Peace. Homer into the bush.
I'm just saying,
come find me. I got all this Bitcoin. You ain't gonna find me on the
I'm
blockchain.
just saying, when you find that special person, it's not the same, because you're talking to somebody who definitely thought that he didn't want kids. I didn't want kids at all. I was like, I'm living my life. I get to buy toys. I get to buy shoes. And I can't imagine my life without my boys. Like, they are my life. Like, my life before them, it was okay, but I wasn't living my life. I feel like I live a much better life now. Like, no, I don't get a lot of sleep. No, I don't get thank yous for the crap I do and stuff like that. But like, when I got my son come downstairs like, hey, you my buddy? I'm like, yeah, I'm your buddy. Like, sometimes that feels nice. But he probably did some shit upstairs that make him ask me that he wasn't supposed to be doing. But I don't know. I just kind of feel like once you get in that atmosphere, it's different. People you work with or your buddies, it's not the same. These people came from you. You came from my boss, son.
Now, what about family?
Like,
I grew up in a house with a younger brother, 2 sisters, and we had the step cousin, plus my parents, plus animals. Like, I lived that life.
Yeah.
It was a miserable existence.
I think because that life was thrust upon you, rather than you making some decisions about how your life would be. I think we've said this before. This is not no news. I think you are going to be a phenomenal father, the likes of which motherfuckers ain't ready for. And I think it comes from the fact that your parents had their foibles, but they still, they did what they could do. But your grandmas are a part of how you're going to raise your kids. You know what I'm saying? And the love that they gave you, and the good that your pop has, and some of the good that you get from your mom and your stepdad. Like, you have all these people who have kind of put you on the game, and you were like, not doing that. Could do this. It's like you can pull and take from all these things, and it's like, bruh, it's like you're gonna be like the best of us, because then, by what I'm saying, because like you, plus you got all us three to offer anything we can offer you support wise or guidance wise if you need it. It's
don't ask me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
You will be the best of us, and it's gonna be
Go
so good.
invite Anthony over to my trailer to show me and my kid how to cook on the gas top stove in the back of the RV.
And it's like, and it's like, I think, yes, Gabriel's life does sometimes sound like, wow, that's a challenge. But when you have your own, all of a sudden you'll understand better how he can face the challenges.
I think.
Because it comes with it's like the good always outweighs the bad almost in everything
But see,
your kids do.
that
like,
is the one thing. One thing we often talk about is like, especially on here, especially when we get together, is things that we gripe about or things we don't like. How often do we just? I mean, I know it will sound terrible, but how often do you just be like, man, my significant other did this good thing, my kids did these good things, and did this good thing, like. It would, like, most people naturally feel like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't like to brag. Bragging is one of those things, and society is like, I don't want to hear about this motherfucking kid got another award today. Bragging is one of those things that, like, is ingrained not to do. But it's okay to de-stress to your friends. It's okay to be like, oh, I had this rough moment today, or I had this rough moment. Like, we are taught not to do that with each other. Like, I send pictures of T, like when Emery played Sonic by himself, the first thing I did was send T a picture of it. I mean, I don't know if I told y'all that, like, he beat levels by himself, but I'm sure I told you about the time he punched Anthony. Like, it's hard to live that life. I am terrible in myself saying positive things about myself. Like, I'm bad at that. It's easier for me to say I'm bad at that than be like, Anthony, you're good at this. Like, I don't know. Life is just weird that way.
The whole, like, the message, though, that I was trying to convey, like, when at the beginning of all this, though, like, I'm not sure, like, you guys quite understand what I was trying to say. Like, maybe I'm not expressing it correctly or whatnot, but, like, I'm not trying to make it seem like kids would be a burden or, like, I wouldn't want any or I wouldn't be, like, yes, I'd have fears about being bad at it, but, like, I think that's natural for anybody. But, like, I'm just saying from, like, the way I am with people, I don't want to, like, mentally, I need breaks from time to time. And I was just saying the level of people action that Gabe has in his household with 4 young kids and his wife and all the animals and everything, that's a level that, like, I don't think I would mentally be able to handle very well just because of how I process situations and how I need downtime from people from time to time. Like, it's gotta be impossible for this man to find downtime in a house that's just chock full of people who need constant attention. And I know that, like, it's not something that, like, even if you have 1 kid or 2 kids that you can necessarily get easily, but I think it would be easier to get that with 1 or 2 kids than 4.
True.
So that's all I was trying to say was, like, it's like, I don't mind being around people Sometimes I do have to fake my way through it, which is taxing. But like, the way I like the happiest to be happy, I can't do that all the time. So like, I feel like if I were to have one or two kids, I could carve out a little bit of time here and there throughout the day where like I give them to the mother, or they're in bed and I got a moment to breathe. Like, just finding like that piece where like I would be a parent but could still operate within that space, I feel would be easier to navigate with one or two than three or four. That's all I was trying to say.
And yet again, like what I was saying was different from that too. I'm saying like once you get into that space, your heart will be different. What I'm saying to you is like I'm totally there with you. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying like when you find that person, I'm assuming from knowing you all these years, when you get in that space, it'll be different. That's all I'm saying.
Like, I imagine it probably would be different if we were your own kids.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think I
would do everything I could to avoid it.
And if I'm wrong, y'all can correct me. I think, especially in these situations, we all are speaking directly from our hearts, whereas you are currently speaking directly from your head. And you are like, mentally, I can't stick and move like
because
this.
It's not like I'm having kids or anything. Like, I'm a single dude. Like, like I got nothing going on. Like, this is all hypothetical.
I can't wait to see when you start talking from your heart.
So, just like with...
it's going to be something to see.
You're probably going to be expecting a Jeffrey D. Morgan phone call in a couple years saying that that you got some kids that you don't know about. And not only do you have 4, you have 5.
Man, I'd be like, okay, Google, 480 bridge.
Oh my God! Look, we gonna as time is proceeding a little quicker than normal. I'm just gonna run through these amateur assholes right quick. You pick the one. You get one this week.
Hold on. Before we get any further, one thing I wanted to bring up, and I hopefully I'll make it quick.
Come on.
I was watching, like the EYL, the Earn Your Leisure stuff that I sent you guys like last year.
Them.
I think Anthony followed him. Okay. Yeah. They had a segment on their show the other day. Like they do a Monday show with the stock guy that I follow. They had a lady on who was like going to be on Good Morning America. She's like an author and stuff. Black lady. I don't remember her name off the top of my head. I've seen her on there once or twice. But they were talking about beneficiaries and how like people have them on their life insurance policies. But you could also do them for, like, your bank accounts and everything. So, like, if you have, like, a significant other or kids and shit, that, like, you need to go through and make sure that, like, all your property is set up to, like, have, like, a beneficiary. So if you pass away, the stuff transfers to your kids or, like, your bank accounts, like, all that kind of financial stuff. Because it could, like, fall into, like, unclaim or to the state or whatever if you don't have those things set up. Mm-hmm. So I was just saying fathers with multiple children amongst all of you, it might be beneficial to look into not just make if you need to update your life insurance policies type information, because like they use the reference to a story I think we've read in the past about how like a guy died and he hadn't updated his life insurance policy, so his life insurance policy money went to his ex-wife from 20 years ago, not his current wife. And because the way the laws are set up, the ex-wife did not have to give it back, and she did not give it back. So she kept all of the dude's money, and his wife of 20 years got nothing. But that's when they mentioned about how like you can set up beneficiaries for your bank accounts and stuff. So I just thought maybe you guys, if it's something that you weren't aware of, might want to look into since you all have children.
Mine is set up for the like it's for my mother, the boys, and my girlfriend.
Yeah, like right now, if I kick the bucket, like work would send my youngest brother like my life insurance money, but then everything else I own would go like to the state, I guess, to be auctioned or whatever. Because like I don't have beneficiaries for my properties or any of my financial accounts or anything, so like the state would just claim all my shit.
All right,
I think like by law it would like, especially like if your mom's still alive, it'll probably go to your mother.
I know we don't know, but we don't know how the laws in the state function.
Yeah.
So we don't want to assume that. And my man, you know what I'm saying, my man's wealth goes to, Governor, DeWine. So I hear you, and that's actually solid advice. As always, don't take our advice. It's not good advice. We are financial
this is not financial advice. This is purely for educational purposes only. But
that's my friend telling his friend some shit. That's dope.
Waka that.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
All right, about to run down these. You pick one. We go. Am I the asshole for calling my dad a homophobic asshole? Am I the asshole for getting a lock for my office door after what my husband did?
Oh.
Am I the asshole for telling my in-laws to fuck off after they told me not to speak my language in front of my son?
Oh.
Am I the asshole for not immediately rushing to my partner's daughter after she was hit by a car? Am I the asshole for telling my daughter not to mention her disability on her college application? Am I the asshole for refusing to let me boss? They wrote me boss. Let me boss inspect my bathroom usage.
Lord have mercy.
Me boss.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I said, Lord have mercy.
White boy summer. Chet Hayes. So, which one of those speaks to you?
I just found out yesterday that dude is Tom Hanks' kid. I also just found out yesterday that person exists.
Yeah, his girlfriend beat him up the other day. His black girlfriend, yeah.
Oh, really?
And
I found out he existed because someone, a black lady, retweeted a cameo he did into my feed, talking about White Boy Summer.
Yeah.
And then, I saw some comments talking about Tom Hanks, and I was like, what? So I went to Google, and I was like, oh, shit, there's another branch of the Hanks family I wasn't aware of.
He's Colin Hanks' brother.
I'm never upset about his little Jamaican patois, but I also love snow, so you can't be, that's how I get down, you know what I'm saying?
And get boom down.
Oh my God. So it's like people be mad, upset that he be doing a Jamaican patois, and I'm just like,
man, his dad is Tom Hanks.
I've heard worse.
He spent a lot of time in Jamaica. He can probably go to Jamaica whenever he wants to. More than most people can.
Near the beach.
Lord have mercy.
It was funny though because obviously with me tweeting to find out who that dude was and then finding out he was Tom Hanks' kid, there was articles underneath when I searched the dude's name, it was what does Tom Hanks think about his granddaughter? And it's the article was just talking about oh, Tom Hanks loved that black baby.
Like I said, if that interview with Tom Hanks and Tim Allen were being interviewed by a black reporter from Oakland, if I'm not mistaken, and Tom Hanks just oh, but I used to play Big Wiz. I just started laying immediately, and then Tim the Two Man just sitting there I don't even know why I'm here. I was what's even going on? Because them two was just ciphering Divine. It's Tom Hanks is what I said the other day. Tom Ladarius Hanks. Tom Hanks is down for the team, man. Don't sleep.
Not two of the Rat Man Taylor.
All right.
The Coke Man Taylor.
I've given you a selection of them of the assholes. If any of them speak to you, we shall read them.
The locking the office door one kind of stood out to me.
Because it had that question mark. It became a mystery.
Yeah, it's a lot of the other articles kind of give away the ending almost in the title. But this one was just it left it
we
wide
had
open.
enough family talk. We talk about families every Am I the Asshole almost.
All to the good. Am I the asshole for getting a lock from my office after what my husband did? I, female, 33, am an art teacher working at a middle school. I love my job because, hold on, I like to stop right there and point out.
I hope he painted a penis on an easel or something.
That my youngest child's art school teacher is fine as fuck. It was uncomfortable attending parent-teacher conferences to walk up on this woman because she was so goddamn fine. It's I cannot fuck with this. Get away from this.
Was she Latina?
I wish I knew her Instagram. Anyway.
Was she Latina?
Nah, she's just a white chick, man.
She a brunette.
Yeah, but with some color in her hair too, though. I think it was turquoise.
I feel like that's a requirement of an art teacher.
She wear a jumper?
Anyway. No. Anyway.
Art teacher in your city, she probably got a girlfriend.
I love my job because I grew up as an artist. I love drawing and making artwork growing up. I'm blessed I get to do what I love. share my knowledge and experience with others, and get paid for it. It's like a commercial. I recently started teaching a new class. It's been great so far. The class is always exciting to learn. The class is always excited to learn and participate in different activities while focusing on improving their artistic skill. I bring my artwork with to show them. I don't know what you wanted there. Although it's a bit complicated and they can't draw similar things, but I use this as a way to motivate, educate them about different drawing methods. So far, I've shown them several paintings. I have a small room of the house I call office. My husband has his own area. He's an accountant. He rarely ever walks into my office. Lately, he's been having plenty of free time. Having plenty of free time lately. He once felt bored, walked into my office and started messing with my painting, adding colors, ruining the texture, etc. I told him it wasn't right. He said he was trying to make the painting look better. God, men are trife. He wanted to start his own artwork. My brushes and tools were constantly missing. I talked to him about it to no use. Yesterday I came home and found the painting I'd been working on to show the class was ruined by him adding other colors and getting the paper wet. We got into an argument after he said he wanted to add his own touches to make it a little better. I told him I can't take it anymore. I went to get a lock to keep my work safe after he caused me time and money. He saw the lock and said I overreacted, that I treated him like a child by getting the lock instead of talking to him. But I did talk, but to no use. He's upset, saying what I did was not okay. I was being too hard on him, treating him like a student of mine. Am I the asshole? Fuck no. It's rare that I answer these off the rip because I usually just let it cook.
I always find the responses from the other party to be fascinating. Like, what goes through their mind that makes them think that this behavior is okay and that they're allowed to be upset about the retaliation?
This is trash, man. And I get it, I'm a dude, but trust me. Oh my God. I would look, I'm not saying violence is the answer, but I would have chose violence that day. It would have been a problem. She chose a lock. She didn't put it on her knuckle and beat him with it. Oh my fucking God, bro. All right, so here's a comment, and this one is all highlighted, so it must be something special. Not the asshole. Your husband is an accountant. Go add a few numbers to his spreadsheets because you want to make them better and more colorful.
Exactly what I was thinking.
See how he likes the ideal of you contributing to his work. He is definitely the asshole here.
Yeah, now that you put it in that, they put it in that context, I really get the feeling that he doesn't respect her career.
Yeah. This. Oh my God. And again, I get it. I know every time I see shit like this, I'm like, you gotta leave this motherfucker. But it just be so real, bro. I can see it already. It's like, sure, maybe they will be better. Maybe they will communicate and work out some things and become better. But when somebody is so wildly disrespectful of you, I don't know how you can make that okay. You know what I'm saying?
This is one of those times where, if she were to beat the shit out of him, and then, the news report got on the internet and we read it, I'd be like, I get it.
Yeah.
In a fair society, she would get away with it, but she would probably, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she'd be lauded as a champion. Look at that strong woman sticking up for herself, beating the shit out of her disrespectful husband.
That is some. How wild is that? I just thought I'd make it better, bitch. You ain't an artist. And even still,
it's my shit.
Even still, she offered him to I'll get you your own shit. Don't fuck with my shit. I am working on some things. I have a plan for it. What's that one we read where dude that told old girl, don't fuck with my shit? My rice. Remember the rice one we read?
Yeah.
And that bitch took that man's rice and just put it all in one container? No.
This would be Anthony cooking, and then his partner comes in the kitchen and starts adding spices all willy-nilly. I was trying to make it taste better. Whoops, pow, surprise.
I try to give, if my partner's cooking, I try to give her space. I resist stirring and adding stuff to it.
Yeah. Only because I don't know what their vision is. Sure, I might think I can do something, but it's you know what? You got a plan here. You thought them shallots was doing something. I hate shallots now. I want you to know that. My partner has fallen in love with shallots as of late. I cannot stand
What don't you like
they
about
smell
shallots?
like poop to me. They smell like poop to me.
Oh.
And I've told her as much. And Dusty, I'm like, yo, if you gonna cook yourself some salad, enjoy them shallots.
put it in
baby.
mine.
I'm not gonna fuck with them shallots. Yeah, that's exactly it. Shallots in my fridge right now. It's always shallots in my fridge now. But that's it, people. We gonna ride out. I truly enjoyed this show. I enjoyed talking to y'all all tonight, and it was so good to hear from each of you. And so let us ride the fuck out of this bitch. You know what the deal is. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show. I ask nicely every week, and y'all don't do it, but I'll keep asking. Maybe one day y'all will take up the calls and go review and rate and subscribe and shit. And that'd be so much better.
See, maybe we need to stop talking and being held prisoner and just start biting our listeners.
Please head over and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Twitch channels, both Stays Crunchy and Milk. And give us a follow on Twitter. That's Skimpod, SKIMPOD. And if you want to support the show financially and have a few bucks to toss away, you can join our Patreon, where members of the $5 and above tier get extra content each month and early access to new shows. It's a new month today. I need to start getting that in order. Well, we'll work on that. We'll get that. I'll probably get some shit edited this weekend to get to you, our patrons. We also have merch available over at tpublic.com/user/stays crunchy and milk. All one word. I need to be better about telling people when there's a sale on TeePublic, because they do it like once a month. They put a sale up, and I need to be out here in the streets hustling that. Like, go save a couple of dollars and buy a shirt. Truly, I don't think I'm out here making mad bank on these shirts. I believe if you buy a sweatshirt, which is about $46 before a sale price, we get $4. We're not trying to build an empire here, but I do like having dope designs up there that you can rock on your chest and go show off to the people, or rock on a notebook or on a magnet or sticker or the like. So
I actually need to wear the shirts I have. Maybe next time we do retry, I need to be wearing a Stays Crunchy and Milk t-shirt.
Respect to it.
I don't feel like I can officially retire from this show until I walk into a Target someday and see someone that I don't know wearing a Stays Crunchy and Milk t-shirt.
It is literally my fucking dream. Don't let me catch somebody out here in these streets with my gear on. I probably would have to stop at that point. You are correct. It'd probably be like,
walk up to him and be like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, that's a podcast? Is that like the radio?" Just pretend like I don't know, and then come on the show and talk about it, and then like, "Oh, I met him."
That would be so dope, man. So, I mean, is that you trying to make that you? You should probably do that. Get down with that gear now. If you want to, feel free to give us a call. 216-302-8763. That's 216-3028-POD. We don't got nothing this week, but I have good word. We'll have some soon. So you just you prepare yourself for that, my folk. But that's my man ducking and dodging over here is Tatum 216. Yep. Pulled out the CAD.
Checkmate, bitch.
out the sketch of the motherfucker.
That was a van. These are called van slippers. They're vans, but they're slippers.
So, I went and packed up the office recently, and I opened up my boxes checking to make sure my shit was there. And what do I find in there? As I reach down here and grab it. But this fancy slipper that my man Ant had caught me for the office some time back. So my office slippers are now my little house slippers. So the two pair of slippers I have both came from Anthony.
How often do you guys replace your slippers?
Well, I only got these two pairs, and I replaced the one when Anthony gave me a new pair at Christmas. So when a new pair shows up in my life, the old pair goes.
In September, you'll probably have a new pair of slippers then.
It's like, is there like a way to revitalize them? Because I'm wearing these right now, and I've been wearing them for 6 months straight now because I got them back in October. Yeah. And I feel like there's a shelf life to it, because they were only $20. Slippers aren't that expensive, So it's I feel like the turnaround
the new wave is to spend a little bit more money on your slippers because you are in the house wearing them more. And I'm like, okay, I can dig that because I'm going up and down stairs, and wearing a soft pair of slippers up and down stairs ain't the business. I might as well just be wearing socks, baby. So.
Well, like these ones like have like a rubber bottom, but then they have like a memory foam insert.
That's
in
kinda
them.
got-
That memory foam don't last forever. So
Yeah, it's like it absorbs like foot sweat so easily that after a few months it starts to feel
Now
grimy.
that has been an issue I've had where I feel like the other pair, not these, were just like I'm in the bitches barefoot basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's just shoe funk.
I feel like I need to be better about wearing socks with them, but to like kind of help. I feel like that would get their shelf life a little bit longer.
So basically, it's time for probably time for a slipper refresh, and going forward, you wear socks with them. Here as we slide here in the spring. Plus, you can just throw some slides on your feet, some flippies. You know what I'm saying? You'll be all right.
I do that like sometimes when I take trash out and stuff. I'll throw the slides on. Like I've actually got a pair like right there.
Yeah, or
Oh, that guy.
have you a
That's
pair of inside slides and a pair of outside slides.
I respect it.
Dude, I've got like 5
You
pairs of
already
slides.
there.
I love slides.
The Slide King himself is Lunchbox 2099.
Slide to the left.
Slide, slippity slide.
And the Quiet Man.
I guess sliding in the DMs would have been the other slide. But the couple times I've tried that, it never works. It doesn't work out because they never reply.
Shoot your shot is what they always tell me, right?
Yeah.
I feel good that I let it fly back in the day, but you miss. But rather miss than not
There
shoot.
you go, man.
Like at the end of an NBA game, it feels a lot worse when they don't get the shot off before the buzzer than if they shoot it and it banks out.
Who was that dude from Boston the other night who went 0 for 10 in like 35 minutes? It was terrible. He had a bad night. But he put up some shots. He just didn't make none of them. Not a single one. It was a real bad record. You know what I'm saying? That Quiet Man is the real ODP.
Being quiet. I was plenty talkative earlier.
You know what I'm saying? I think as we get toward the end here is when your body starts saying, hey, man, I'd like some sleep. It's okay, bruh.
Yeah, you definitely like Homer falling asleep driving.
I was hard. I'm just concentrating on my feet being cold because I'm not wearing socks right now.
Oh, I got on
And,
socks
I'm not
slippers.
wearing the slippers that Anthony got me.
See? You men owe me a new pair of slippers. It's my favorite line from Mulan. Anyway, I am the Internet
I see the
713.
waves, Xander.
You've just been podcasted to. And I know you loved it.
Making me seasick over here.
Jeez. Your uncle said they see your waves and you're over here making them seasick.
Oh, and that stance is so smooth.
What happened to you? You used to be beautiful.